Hey, look, man.
That's
So
what
do you
happened.
have so what is your projection for game one tonight of the Western Conference Finals? Mr. Ant Man
I'm guessing
himself.
you. I'm guessing you mean game two.
Game two, I meant to say.
What I'm expecting is a dog being a dog.
Mm. And which dog is that?
The dog that been showing up in these playoffs.
Hmm. Talking about Nas Reed? Talking about Julius Randle?
Shout out to Julius Randle.
Shout out to Julius Randle.
You know what I'm saying? But Ant Man gonna lock in, bro. He know what's at. He know what's at stake. He understand what the league trying to pitch. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want this whole SGA story to be what it is. The Grim Reaper is here. This gonna be a long series. It's gonna go down to Game 7.
Hmm.
Just sit back, get your popcorn ready.
2-5. If you could do me a grand favor, remind me the last time Sans last year that the Minnesota Timberwolves made it past the second round of the NBA playoffs.
2003.
Wow. So
And
not
that was
even
the,
in go
and that
ahead.
was the only time in history before last year.
So not even MVP Garnett.
No, that's who it was.
Oh, okay. I thought he won that John in 04.
He might have won it in 04. It was one of those 2 years though.
But his MVP year was the Western Conference Finals year.
Yeah, let me double check that.
But all that was irrelevant. All I was saying was not even MVP KG could get them to that point, but he might have. But I know for a fact he won MVP, and I know for a fact that his Wolves went to the Western Conference Finals, but I don't know if it happened in the same year. So, but regardless, is Anthony Edwards becoming a top Wolf of all time?
He
I mean, if you're saying for the Wolves for that franchise, you could probably say so.
oh yeah, it was his MVP year, 2004. That was the year that the Lakers lost to the Pistons.
You
But
could say
that was their
Yeah,
conference final year though.
yeah, that was the conference final year.
Okay.
You could say that just because that's the same argument people are having right now with the PG and Halliburton is Halliburton the greatest all time pacer right now over PG. You know what I'm saying?
Well, first of all, PG
None of them
ain't
is named
even
Reggie
all-time
Miller.
greatest. Yeah, I was gonna say PG ain't even the greatest pacer.
True. What we saying like just far as like right now? Well, right now,
Like modern.
yeah, for the
Okay.
modern time. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I think Halliburton has passed Paul George.
Right. You
Well,
know what I'm saying?
damn.
For real, bro. He has, bro. People will try to bring up the Paul George accolades and stuff, but people got fail to realize like Halliburton is doing what Paul George should have been doing more with the Pacers.
You mean
Well,
like not losing LeBron teams?
No, I feel like Halliburton is leading a group of guys that before this year we look at and say there ain't no way those guys should be playing in the conference finals. And
Lance Stevenson, I can't even say nobody else.
No, he had David West,
Danny Granger,
who was an all-star. They had Roy Hibbert, who was what?
George Hill.
They had George Hill, who's an NBA champion.
This thing said Roy Hibbert. No, shout out to Roy Hibbert.
Yeah, bro. They had him,
multiple times. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like think about this, right? If there was no Halliburton on that team, would you even know who Nembhard is?
I would not.
Would you like Neesmith was on your team?
And would you sit here and say to yourself that you can rely on Siakam to average you 30 and 15 when you know you can at best you can still at least get him for at least 25 and 10?
They've been trying to trade Miles Turner his whole career.
For real, that is true.
He was supposed to go to the Lakers the year Russ went.
He's just a pacer. Miles
You know,
Turner.
that
just-
nigga-
that's what I'm saying. Like when you look at the makeup of the team, you know, Obi Toppin,
I was about to say Obi Toppin.
you know, a
From
guy
the Knicks.
who went top 10 in the draft, I believe it was,
To the Knicks.
and not even on that team anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like when you look at the Pacers, they are a collection of good players who either didn't do well in their first team, or they were moved because the team didn't see a future with them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like Paul George had players on his team that we recognized as, you know, maybe you're not a top 10 player, but at your position, you're pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Shout
the
out to
best
Roy
player
Hibbert.
on your team. He was the best player on his team.
Yeah,
His years.
So you had Danny Granger, Roy Hibbert, George Hill. They had Luis Scola. You know,
Mhm.
they had Evan Turner, who was supposed to be, you know,
Evan
next
ain't
or
show off
whatever,
until
like,
he got to the Sixers.
you know what I'm saying? And even like off the bench, they had CJ Watson, who, you know what I'm saying, is like a decent NBA player. Not great by any means, but decent.
Mhm.
They had Rasul Butler, you know, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? So they had players, you know what I mean? Whereas, like I'm saying, with the Pacers, the players that they are winning with, these are dudes that people from my generation would say, this is why this era of basketball is weak.
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? Not saying that they're right, but that's what they would say.
That's why I go back and agree with saying, other than if you have the debate between KG and Ant, as far as greatest Wolves all time right now, I give it to Ant just because he's keeping the Wolves more relevant now, bro. He's the best player on the squad, regardless.
So real quick, so like with Halliburton, he's directly responsible for a lot of these guys' points.
Yeah.
Like so like yeah, the Pacers, the other Pacers, they scored because having Paul George made things easier for them. You know, Halliburton is directly responsible for a lot of the points that these guys get. You know what I mean? And then to your Ant point, this is where I think Ant has an argument. I still think it's KG, but this is where I think Ant has an argument for the fact that they made the Western Conference Finals, traded their second best player.
Come on now.
And, you know, so with a theoretically worse team,
they
made it back.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
and they beat the Lakers to do it.
But no, fuck all that. They suck. but back to what Lethal was saying earlier, though. OKC favored by 8.5 tonight. Give me the points. Give me the points.
With all that being said, we still taking SGA and the Thunderbolts to cover the spread.
Yes. You know why? So this is the thing, right? And I said I wasn't going to say anything negative about Julius Randle, you know what I'm saying, for a year after they beat the Lakers. So I'm not going to say anything negative about Julius Randle. But what I am going to say about Julius Randle, he's the type of guy that OKC feast on, because when he catches the rock, and we talk about this all the time, bring the post back. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those dudes, right? He catches the ball, he'll back you down. The problem is when you start backing people down, OKC comes off that blind side and starts the fast break. Right. And that's what they were doing to Jokic. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as he would turn his back, you know what I'm saying, J-Dub or Cason Wallace would come through, swipe, and then you got a fast break. And I think, I don't know if I said this on the Hot Box, but I know I said it in some comments around the internet, but Minnesota plays stupid basketball. You know, like the other night, right? They shot, 53s? And
why does Minnesota feel like they can shoot that many 3-pointers?
I mean, but that go back to the point where I'd be like, most teams are just going off of this. Like, everybody wants to fucking.
But they aren't a shooting team. The Celtics,
but it doesn't matter. Everybody still feels like, even if you're not, people just feel like they just gotta shoot. Like, it's the 3 ball to nothing else, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what every team.
No,
even Even with Halliburton, bro, with his game winner, and you know what I'm saying? Well, the one that sent him into overtime, you know what I'm saying? That was he could have went for the 2 right there, just to send it, but he tried to end it, but it still was a 2. You know what I'm saying? It's just
The
like
foot was on the line.
But it was
God
the same
damn.
exact shot that he took against Cleveland.
right, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, far as when you look at at people shooting, bro, people really just like most teams. It doesn't matter if they don't got the shooters to really be out here shooting. They gonna shoot the 3, bro.
Here's one for you. Why Jalen Brunson win Clutch Player of the Year when Halliburton is 11 of 12 on shots with less than 2 minutes left? But we don't gotta get into that.
There's another guy who led the league in total clutch points, you know.
I just said that to show Cups that I can go against Jalen Brunson. That's why
you
I
can
said
be objective. I appreciate that, man.
but anyway, no, but like so like the problem with Minnesota is they got a guy who's the tallest guy on the court, but he can't provide you anything.
Do they need another vet, another vet, or do they need another superstar?
Yeah, I feel like Giannis would be the perfect match for that squad.
I would too, bro. I feel it too, bro.
I think that Minnesota needs somebody like
Kawhi,
Michael Porter Jr.
Fuck no.
Like somebody like that.
No, because that's what they had with Cat.
What they supposed to do.
Yeah, that's what they had with Cat, right? The 7-foot dude.
I would have brought back. I would have brought Jimmy back for all of that. I would have shot out
Jimmy. Because Jimmy messes up the spacing. Like with Jimmy, Anthony Edwards doesn't have the lanes to get to the basket as often and forcefully as he would like to, because Jimmy gonna be in the way. And also Jimmy's not gonna take shots. Like,
yeah, but Jimmy could create some space for Ant
when he wants to. That's the problem. When he wants to.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But I think OKC they play too fast for a guy like Gobert. Like he's just gonna end up in foul trouble. I mean, he had 2 fouls in the first 2 or 3 minutes the other day.
Unless they get him going, unless Gobert goes off early, like gets going early, dominate early, where you know what I'm saying, he could draw some more attention to him to get these niggas a little more better shot. They can shoot better shot selections.
Right, but think about it though. Think about this. So they just played the Warriors, right? Well, actually, let's take it to the beginning. They played the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? You had Jackson Hayes, who's a bum, and JJ decided not to play him, when Gobert had the 24 rebound game, 27-24. They played Golden State. So you got Kevon Looney, who's slow. He's big, but he's slow. And then your other big person is Draymond. You know what I mean? And then your next biggest person that you usually play, Quentin Post, is a rookie that's 7 feet, but he wants to shoot threes. You know what I mean? So, like, OKC has not necessarily twin towers, you know what I'm saying? But you could put either one of them on Gobert. You know what I mean? And you still get the ability of Chet to stretch him out on defense, or you know what I'm saying, you got Hartenstein who can do the traditional stuff or bring Rudy out for that little floater. But the whole purpose of what I'm saying is they got 2 dudes that pull Rudy away from the basket.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's where he becomes ineffective. And one of the things that I know that I've said on here was he might not be playable by the time we do get to game 5 or whatever. Like you might have to look at it and say, I mean, I might need rebounding right now, so I'm going to put him out there, but 5 minutes at a time.
Yeah. And
so I think this is more likely to go 5 than 7.
For the Thunder.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because
I'm not mad at that though, because I do think Rudy is a wild liability.
And it's not because I don't respect Minnesota. It's not because I don't think Minnesota's any good. It's not because I think OKC is this super great team. It's just because Minnesota turns the ball over too much, and that's the last thing you need to do against that team.
Speaking of which I just got sent a graphic from my cousin who is a Knicks fan.
Uh-huh.
The NBA draft in the year 2020. 3 of the top 15 players are currently Pacers from that same year. Can y'all guess who they are?
I'm guessing Halliburton.
Say it again.
3 of the top 15 players from the 2020 draft are currently Indiana Pacers. Can you guess which ones they are?
So Halliburton.
Nembhard.
Halliburton picked 12 to the Kings.
No, I don't think it's Nembhard.
Reeves. Oh, Siakam.
Now Siakam was already there. Nesmith. No, he went
Aaron
late.
Aaron Nesmith picked 14 to the Celtics.
Oh, I thought he went later. Never mind. Okay, so
And Toppin.
Obi Toppin picked 8 to the Knicks. So my cousin was obviously like, Pacers have 3 lottery picks. Makes it worse. One of them was from our squad.
yeah.
I mean, obviously, they didn't draft any of these guys. Is this like a front office move? Have we been celebrating?
Well, I saw something today. Hold on, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's all I was gonna say because I was
go ahead. I'm
gonna
gonna look this up real quick so I can get it right. I saw something earlier that I meant to send you, but let me find it again.
Because whoever the GM is for the Indiana Pacers, hats off to them for one. They traded for all of these guys, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think Halliburton, he didn't make it. No, I think he got traded in like his first or second year. So, you know what I'm saying? They made that trade. They made the trade for Toppin. I think they might have signed Toppin, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think he was a free agent.
And then they went out, and I know we traded Nesmith. So and then picked up Siakam. I think Miles Turner might have been the only person that was already there.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't he a fucking
Pacer? Wasn't no, I'm thinking of
he was with the Magic.
That's what I said. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Damn, I should have saved it.
No, wasn't Miles Turner a Blazer?
No, Miles Turner, I think, was always a Pacer.
See, that's what I'm saying, bro. He was the only one that was already there. They really built this squad. Nembhard was drafted, I believe.
And that's the crazy part is that I think he was undrafted.
Come on, bro.
I mean,
Shout
if you look at the
GM of the Indiana Pacers,
Naptown, baby, the Naptown is back. Shout out to the Nap. What y'all think, far as like roster construction, how the Knicks roster is constructed right now, how the Pacers is right now? Which path would y'all rather go?
He went 31st.
I mean, they all definitely did some moving around, but the Pacers definitely made some undercover moves, like the way, like I said, how they acquired 3 players. Sherlock, I was just telling them how my dog was a Knicks fan. He sent me a graphic. How can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's a little delay, but he was telling me how in the 2020 draft, 3 of the top 15 players are currently Indiana Pacers, and none of them were drafted there. Tyrese Halliburton, Aaron Nesmith, Obi Toppin, all top 15 picks from that one draft. You know what I'm saying? And they all ended up on the Pacers.
That is sneaky. That is sneaky.
All right.
Very clever. Very clever of them, I might say.
All right, so real quick. Go ahead.
My bad, bro. How y'all doing though?
No, you just delayed, so it's kind of hard to.
All right, never mind.
No, say what you was gonna say.
Oh, so what I was saying was, it's very surprising to see the Knicks pan out the way that they are right now because I do have much playoff success based off their play style during the regular season. So that shit kind of caught me off guard. And I'm a Halliburton hater, so I ain't know this nigga was gonna turn up in the playoffs either, man. Hey, look, man, this shit is crazy. I don't know who. I think whoever wins is gonna come out west. You know, I think whoever comes out the west is gonna win. I mean, those to these 4 teams, bro. I did not expect this.
Talk about parity. I mean, shit.
The rivalry.
We haven't seen any of these teams face off in the. Not even have we seen these matchups, but we haven't even seen these teams in the conference finals in how long? Well, except for the Wolves.
Well,
the rivalry's back, bro.
2000.
This Ewing and Reggie Miller, bro.
All right, so Cups, here it is. I found it. So there was a point where Sacramento tried to trade Buddy Hield, Halliburton, Harrison Barnes, and 2 first-round picks for Ben Simmons, Matisse Thybulle, and Toby. And Philadelphia said no.
Ben Simmons is crazy.
Oh, Philly tricked it. So there was Sacramento was trying to do some Sacramento shit.
I mean, look at them, right? They drafted De'Aaron Fox and Halliburton, and people were like, why did they draft him? They can't play together. You got to choose one. So they chose one, and now they got neither.
And you don't think they would have worked together?
I don't think so. I mean, not work meaning I think they would have been a good team, but not working meaning you weren't going to get close to a championship or anything like that.
You think it would? You think it was like a Trae Young, Monte Murray kind of situation?
Yeah. And I think that they brought in the right type of dude, Sabonis. But I think that once you added DeRozan, you took away your advantages because he plays so slow and methodically, and that's not how De'Aaron Fox is set up to play. And then you brought in Levine as if you didn't see them team up in Chicago together.
So, with that being said, though, we were still talking about the Pacers, and I know Lethal asked a question like, "Would we have rather built the way that the Knicks built or the Pacers built?" The Knicks been trying to pull this shit together for a little minute, man. The RJ Barrett, Julius Randle era, and then what I'm saying, they tried to retool with Brunson and the Villanova gang. Then they shimmed guys out, brought in Cat. Really been trying to pull some strings, and Indy, they just been slowly and steady. Once they've got Halliburton, immediately they went out and got Toppin. Immediately drafted Nembhard. They got Nesmith. Like they Knicks been trying to throw stuff together, but Indy really been. I feel like they really been like trying to build something.
Well, Indiana has to take more risk because Indiana is one of those teams just based off of location where if you say, hey, I'm thinking about trading you to this place, the player would say, I'm not going to re-sign there. You know what I'm saying? So they have to take risk and do it a little bit differently than the Knicks would because, most players, I ain't going to say most, but a lot of players, if it's like, hey, the Knicks got to extend you, you're like, hey, that's New York City. Sign me up.
The market definitely matters. You know what I'm saying? To people, you know what I'm saying? Most players. That's why I feel like with Indy, you know what I'm saying, how Halliburton is carrying that shit. As far as just like the sports now, bro, just the main teams and stuff, what we got going on in the Naptown, bro. Like, bro, these niggas is they ready, bro. Like, I feel like these niggas is ready, bro.
I think that they're not ready, bro. I think that once they go against a team like OKC, because I got OKC coming out the West, or even the Timberwolves, bro, I feel like they just gonna get out athletic. I think the athleticism.
You think
on the
you think Holmgren and Havenstein is gonna out physical Siakam and Turner?
But we talking about Siakam. Did Siakam even show up last night?
I
But-
think the refs are going to let OKC do that. We've seen, you know,
I think the Pacers play a style of defense that if they match up with, if they play OKC, they not gonna make it out that bitch alive. OKC, OKC is gonna be niggas gonna be hurt.
you put them in the cage with the tiger.
You know what I'm saying? Lock them
Oh,
up,
Shea and Hallie would be a fire matchup. Two tall ass niggas. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
No, I
Damn.
think that well, the Knicks just do things that puzzle me. You know, like Locke was talking about how, you know, in the regular season they played a certain way, and I
keep
agree
their
with that.
starters on the fucking floor
You know,
all day long. Bro.
Well,
Niggas
no,
don't get
like
break.
the issue that I have, you know, and I'm by no means a basketball coach, but
Right.
you know, when Neesmith was hitting those shots last night, and Cat wouldn't challenge the shot, like he was right there, and he kept going, he kept dropping instead of coming up, and OG ended up yelling at him when they got to the bench, and I was just like, up, it's over. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that was before the Pacers even completed the comeback. It was just like that moment. Because, I mean, how you let the same dude, hit 5 straight threes in back-to-back possessions?
Yeah, he definitely had a heater going for sure.
Knock him on his ass. Double team him.
Right.
Get the ball out of his hand.
I'm gonna always blame the coach when it comes down to having a 9-point lead with a minute left, under a minute left.
Mm-hmm.
Like, or was it even an 11-point lead?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, bro. Come on. I don't care how. I don't care.
Not to mention, Bronson missed his three. They get the ball back. Cat missed his three. Niggas was all over the floor. Couldn't get the ball. It was
Well, no,
just
that's
like
overtime. I'm still talking about regulation, though.
Yeah.
clutch. He supposed to be clutch. I heard Jalen
I heard he
Brunson
was a clutch. I heard he was
I
the
heard
most
he
clutch
was clutch.
player in the
I heard he
NBA.
was clutch.
I hate when y'all
Closeout.
do
I heard he was
I
the
heard he was
closeout
clutch.
king.
I hate. You know what? Do me a favor.
I just heard he was the
No,
closeout
no,
king.
no,
I
no,
heard
no,
he
no,
was
no,
clutch.
no.
Nah,
You ain't heard nothing.
I heard
You
he
ain't
was
heard
the
nothing.
greatest-
Do me
I
a
heard he
favor.
was the
Do me a
greatest
favor.
Knickerbocker of all time.
Go and
I
look
heard
at Kobe Bryant. Go and look at Kobe Bryant's percentages on clutch shots and get back to me. I hate
Yeah,
when
bro.
y'all do this shit. Like this
Nah,
man,
they-
this
hey,
man.
look,
I'm just saying, bro. That's just what I've been hearing. That's just what I've been hearing. I don't know nothing about Kobe. I don't know nothing about Kobe. I've been hearing about this nigga the whole time.
I heard he was Mr.
He would
Clutch.
hit 6 clutch
I heard
shots.
they
Y'all
had
wait
a
until
clutch
he misses
award.
one and then
You
be
give
like,
it to
I
Jalen
thought he
Brunson
was
off
clutch
the
as if he
rip.
didn't hit the
You
other
know what I'm
6.
saying? Mr. Fourth Quarter. He Isaiah
hold on,
Thomas
first of all, hold on,
Isaiah
pause for a
Thomas
second,
on the
Lethal, pause for
prime
a
right
second.
now. You know, you
Pause-
remember when
pause for a
Isaiah was
second.
on his age?
Did
Isaiah
Jalen
had
Brunson-
that, stretch. It was like,
Hold on, Lethal. Hold on, gang. Hold on, gang. Hold on, gang.
Did Jalen Brunson not take over fourth quarters and bury Cups' team? Did that not
Oh
happen?
my God,
Hey,
bro.
that's what I'm trying to understand. He missed the clutch. He get a chance at being clutch.
Mr. Clutch don't
He
mean you
not
never
clutch.
miss.
Hey, look, bro. He
Hey,
was
you
Mr.
know,
Clutch.
hold up.
Oh
You know whose
my
nickname is Mr. Clutch?
Not LeBron James.
Tom
you know
Brady.
No, I'm talking about in basketball. Y'all know who was called Mr. Clutch?
Ray
Who?
Allen.
Jerry West.
Oh, Jerry West, Mr.
He
Logo.
went 1-8 in the finals.
Team.
Hey, look, and also, man, how y'all just gonna erase all the work he done all season? Plus, what he just no, hold on.
I'm holding him
One
to his
second.
standard
One
that
second.
people put him at, bro. They put him
Well,
at
I'm just
Mr.
saying
Clutch, bro. Like,
I'm saying
Hold on,
this,
Lethal.
though.
Hold on.
Listen to
Let
me,
him
though.
cook real quick.
Bro, we not gonna act like Jalen Brunson ain't had the coldest game winner of the playoffs that we seen in a minute. That snatch on Azor Thompson, come on, bro. Clutch.
I done seen
Clutch.
better already, bro.
That's the
I done seen
definition of
Halliburton
clutch.
just pull off another one, bro.
I ain't
If
gonna
his
lie,
foot
bro.
won't on
You
the
feel me?
line,
But I at the end of the day, he had a good game. He dropped damn near 40 points on 60% shooting from the field, bro. He went crazy, bro.
Right, bro. And he had the ball in his hand in
And he missed.
overtime to be
And
clutch
he
when
missed.
his name is Mr.
He
Clutch, and he came up short.
Even Kobe shot those air balls against Utah.
That was
but
that.
you can't win every game, though.
If your name is Mr. Clutch,
That ain't his name. You making that up.
then
No,
in
wait.
the Knickerbocker world,
You just
But I'm
made
saying
that up. Nobody
the
more-
questions
greatest
that.
Nick of all
who is
time.
more clutch than Jalen Brunson in the league right now?
The
the
only
person who
that
finished
got
with
an
the most
argument
clutch
is maybe
points in the
Trey.
NBA.
Trey and
All right,
Trey and
I'll get that.
Halliburton are the only ones that got an argument.
I'll get that. I
The Knicks fans,
credit where
bro.
it's due.
They
But
was in
you
the
know what I mean?
arena already happy as a bitch when Jalen Brunson had the ball in his hand,
Hey, Cups,
and they just
Yo.
knew it in their life that it was gonna be.
watch this. Watch this. I saw another game one where a guy only took one shot in the fourth
Hey,
quarter.
I'm a
All he did was, all right, bro.
All right,
All right,
Lock.
bro.
All right, bro.
I saw another game one where this star took one shot. He only hit one free throw.
Mm.
It was a close game that his team ended up losing by 26. Who is that player?
They lost by 26.
And you know what's crazy? Is that his name is Anthony.
Hey, chill, bro.
You need to stop putting your trust in these Anthonys, bro.
I'm weak, bro. Trying to throw. He's trying to throw the double shades. I see.
I'm not. I love
That's
Anthony
cool.
Edwards.
It's
I'm
cool.
just making.
It's cool.
The double
It's
shade.
cool.
That's
I love
crazy.
Anthony Edwards. I'm just making a point.
It's cool. Nah,
That
bro.
one game does not define who Anthony Edwards is.
It don't, bro. That's why I
And
be
that
saying
one
though,
game
bro.
don't define who Jalen Brunson is.
Bro, we done seen it though.
We ain't
done-
seen nothing.
We done been seeing this shit and hearing this shit about Jalen Brunson for this whole clutch shit and whole fourth, all this shit.
So
And
clutch
what
means
happened?
that you can't ever miss a shot.
Clutch means when it's clutch time, bro, you deliver. That's what clutch means, bro.
Did he not deliver before that last shot?
Did he deliver when he was supposed to deliver when it was clutch time?
I would
No,
say yes.
he didn't.
He was still scoring in overtime.
He
just
had
missed
the
one shot.
ball last.
So if I go 5 for 6,
He had
but I missed
the
my last shot,
ball
that means I had a bad
last.
game.
He is if you have the opportunity to be clutch when you're supposed to be clutch, and you've been labeled as being clutch for your squad as a knicker, and you in that moment and you fail, yes, bro, I'm gonna say something. You ain't deliver, bro.
I ain't heard you say nothing about Anthony Edwards yet.
When he quiet, I'm quiet. When he
Nah,
talking
you
shit, I'ma talk
need
my
to
shit.
speak
He
up.
said when he quiet, I'm quiet.
Nah,
Hold on, wait, because I do want to take this time out since we talk about holding players accountable. I do want to take this time out. I have been tooting the Joker horn all season. I think he was jobbed of another MVP, but I will say in a closeout game, Game 7, I don't care how swarmed you are. I don't care what the defense is doing to you. You cannot have 9 shot attempts.
All right, you want to have some fun real quick?
I do want to have some fun. Let me spark the J.
Bigger screw job, Joker or Lamar Jackson?
I don't think Lamar Jackson was jobbed. I think it was Josh Allen's year to win the jump. Not his year to win the jump, but I think it was a year that he had the team and the statistics to go along with it to win the jump.
That's
That's why I wanted to have fun. Let him have it, Lethal.
That's tough.
Give it to him, Lethal. Pause.
I'm just saying. That's just how I feel about Allen. But as far as the Joker jump, I definitely feel like he was jobbed.
I gotta go Lamar, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got to. Cause Lamar was he was doing that shit after coming off the year that he had. niggas was saying that he couldn't even do it again.
But it's a new year, though. That's the argument, though. It's a new year. Like, I don't care. Like, to some degree, I don't care what happened last year because that's irrelevant to what's happening right now. So, because for that argument that you're making, Jokic just had career highs.
Yeah, but we was,
You know what I'm saying? And he led the league in what? 4 different categories, or like he was top 3 in 4 or 5 different categories.
True, and then they all going into the year, going into the start of the year, was Joker already considered an MVP? MVP.
But that shouldn't matter.
I'm just saying.
Matter.
Was he?
I mean, he was, but so was Lamar Jackson.
I mean, and the only thing,
like Lamar Jackson was the current
Lamar
MVP.
Jackson was. I think he was. I think
right,
he was
but people was already saying he couldn't do it again, and he doubled down and
I mean, truth be told, the problem with Lamar that makes it a bad like a screw job is that he shouldn't have been MVP that year prior. That's where we got the problem at.
But then he have another year.
Again, I still feel like
year where he display a whole MVP year and still not get it though. It's insane though.
No, but I'm saying though, but at the same token, even if you felt that way, just like 25 say, it's a year-to-year thing. Because even if you felt like he performed, or maybe he shouldn't have got the jump the year he got the jump, and this is the year that he should have got it, and he put either way, I still feel like all that's cool. But in this year, in Josh Allen's story, he still didn't have a Derrick Henry MVP candidate, Offensive Player of the Year candidate on his team. Lamar Jackson did.
And the receivers. Like, they had to go get Amari Cooper mid-season.
And what did he do? I mean, I lost push-ups on Amari Cooper.
You know what I'm saying?
I can take that. I can.
But see, but I think that's the thing, though, is that like when we have these conversations, a lot of people look at it singular, like I'm focusing on Lamar, and it's like, no, you gotta look at everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not Lamar playing against himself, or you know, he's the only quarterback in the league. Like, there's other players that are doing well as well. And that's what I was saying the year before, because he won the MVP because his team didn't lose at a certain point.
But then you can make the argument of both quarterbacks are as equal value to the teams.
So then what's the problem? If both of them are equal, then nobody got screwed. Whereas in Jokic's situation, you could argue that SGA only got it because of how many games the Thunder won.
But you could also say Lamar and Josh that year, without those two quarterbacks, those teams don't be in the
side by side
playoffs.
I mean, truth be told, you know what I'm saying? Like, neither one of them did what Joe Burrow did. You know what I'm saying? But Joe Burrow just didn't have the team to get to the playoffs.
Pull up the side by side 2-5.
All right.
But my whole thing is, and I even said I would have entertained if the Cincinnati Bengals would have made the playoffs, I would have entertained a potential MVP conference. But then again, it still would have been on the freaking who was it? Was it Chase or was it Burrow? Because Chase had one of the I feel like Jamar Chase had a better wide receiver season than Joe Burrow had a quarterback season.
Yeah, he won the Triple Crown. So
it's like the MVP conversation still gets a little fuzzy when you talk about with Joe Burrow. So it's like the numbers thing is cool, but we still have to talk about impact and who's on your team and how much you impact your team. There were other people who impacted the Baltimore Ravens, I feel like, in the same way that Lamar Jackson impacted the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah,
I don't think that there was a player that impacted the Bills
without a Derrick Henry.
He's had one before, but that doesn't mean that that's the same caliber season he was having this year, because he had even more help.
But even the year before he had got Derrick Henry, he was still balling.
No, but that year, so that year that he won MVP that we're talking about, he had 24 touchdowns passing. and like 7 interceptions. He had 5 rushing touchdowns.
But he was the
Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen both had 40 combined touchdowns. Now, Josh Allen led the league in interceptions, so that's what knocked him out the race. But the problem is, and I say this a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like, the problem is that Tua had the Dak had the MVP in his hand.
Until that loss.
And then they lost that game to Miami. So then they were like, oh, Tua's the MVP because he was leading in passing yards. But then they went to Baltimore and got destroyed.
And then it was Brock Purdy. Then it was Brock Purdy.
Then it was Brock Purdy until that Sunday Night Football game. Mm-hmm. And the problem with those conversations is that it was Baltimore's defense that was doing the work. They held Miami to 19 points. You know, they picked off Brock Purdy 4 times and then picked off the backup, you know, once. So Lamar, half the possessions that Lamar got in that game against San Francisco, he was in plus territory. You know what I'm saying? But they gave him the credit because he was the quarterback. So that's where you can't have it both ways. It can't be he's being better and he should get it, but when he's not being better, he should still get it because his defense is playing lights out.
But also Lamar was Josh Allen's MVP compared to Lamar's season for them both. Lamar was more MVP. I can agree of how Josh for his team was an MVP too, but that goes for Lamar too.
But that's the problem. That's the problem though, is that the people that are supporting Lamar Jackson are giving him one argument. Josh Allen has that same argument, and they're like, "No, it don't matter now." Like, nah, it worked. But I gave that argument to Lamar, but no, that don't matter no more.
If you look at the numbers, if you look at his numbers, as far as on the number side of it, he outdid what he did last year.
So did Joker.
Prior to it, you know what I'm saying. So that was more he really was having an MVP year all around.
So did Joker. He was even shooting over 40 from 3.
If Lamar if Mark Andrews catches that ball when we go into overtime,
that has nothing to do with nothing. It's a regular.
Did the Ravens play the Chiefs in the regular season this year?
Yes, it was the first game of the season.
And they lost that John, the Isaiah Likely John, with his toe on the line.
Yeah, with his toe on the line. They were like,
Buffalo beat the Chiefs. And Josh Allen had an MVP moment in that game.
But Baltimore beat Buffalo 38-10. So
they did smoke them.
Yeah, so that's some of the argument that like Mike was making was, hey, they played 1-on-1 or their teams played each other and Lamar smoked them. I can live with that. You know, if that's your argument, I can live with that. I don't agree, but I can live with that. You know what I'm saying? But when you're trying to change the argument based on the person, that's where I take issue with it. Because if it was good enough for Lamar, it's good enough for somebody else.
So do y'all feel like
because Dak should have been MVP that year. Dak should have been MVP that year. Either him or Brock Purdy. One of those two should have been MVP.
So Josh Allen,
they lost the game. Yeah, they lost the big John. They lost in those games. And Lamar Jackson, I think he won. I think it was that San Francisco game you was talking about.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But that was the defense, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the defense had 5 interceptions and gave him short fields in that San Francisco game. The Miami game, Miami just got fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless, they just got fucked up. But Baltimore's defense held them to 19 points. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Lamar won because his team was the one that won games at the end. It had nothing to do with Lamar being great or, hey, look at what Lamar's doing. It's just Dallas lost, Miami lost, San Francisco lost. Baltimore didn't lose. Let's give it to Lamar. That's all it was. He literally.
And I feel like if Baltimore would have.
Y'all were calling you specifically were calling Russell Wilson washed, and he had more touchdowns than Lamar that MVP year.
Who said Russ was washed?
Lethal said it a couple times.
Oh, okay.
But even outside the hot box,
Lethal was saying Russ was washed for sure.
But even outside the hot box in real life, that was a conversation where people were like, Is it over for Russ? Like TV, even the media was saying it. But in that season, Mike, but in that season, he threw more touchdown passes than Lamar did, and Lamar won MVP.
Yeah, but that same season they were trash.
No, that's not the point. That's not the point. Because the point is, hey, Lamar won because his team was the last team standing. But this season, his numbers were better than Josh Allen's when we didn't care about the numbers the year before. So now his numbers are better than Josh Allen. So then when people say, but look at Josh Allen's team and lack of whatever, then
But you can say, but look,
people are like, that don't matter. But that's the reason Lamar got it last year. Like,
but look at Lamar's team. The only
Lamar they're using against Josh.
The only upgrade that Lamar got was Derrick Henry. It was the same team, and
he already had the better team, though. You're saying the only upgrade, he already had the better team.
Their defense was the same as the Buffalo defense. Trash.
They made the AFC Championship game, and they hosted it because they were the #1 seed, and they added Derrick Henry.
It was like 13-3.
And that defense has not been the same these last few years, bro. It's been trash.
They added Patrick Queen.
They don't have to be. They were that good when they were playing those teams that had the forget like whatever the season stats were against those other MVP candidate quarterbacks. They were, and that's why if San Francisco wins that game, Brock Purdy's the MVP that year. If Dallas beats Miami in that game down, and they only lost on like a last-second field goal. Miami got the possession and got a field goal with like 30 seconds left or something like that. If Dallas wins that game, Miami misses the field goal, whatever you want to call it, Dak's the MVP. It was literally that close.
But won't we in like what weeks? Weren't that like what week 5? By week 7? Because that San Fran was what week 7?
No, that Baltimore San Francisco game was the next to last game of the season. It was Sunday Night Football.
Was it? I know it was Sunday. Was it that late in the season though?
Yes, it was the next to last game. Because like I said, it went Dak, Tua.
I remember the stretch, but I ain't never.
Yeah, because the week. Well, that's the thing. The week before was when Baltimore smashed Miami.
Right.
Then they played San Francisco that next week. So that's why when Tua lost, it was like, all right, this is Brock Purdy's to lose. But then he threw the 4 picks against Baltimore. And instead of being like, let's bring Tua, Dak, and whoever else back into the conversation, it was like, whoop, I guess Lamar's the MVP.
Well, they had the better record going during that.
But he didn't have the better season.
He didn't though. But this past season, he had it. Yeah, he did, and that's why
he did have the better season. Right. But that's my point: is that when he had that point, now with Josh Allen, y'all don't care about that no more. Now it's
I care.
Now it's back to let's look at the numbers.
No,
but when the numbers didn't support Lamar, y'all were like Lamar. And then when Lamar got the numbers, it was like, yo, still Lamar.
Yeah, but because I'm like, because I look at it as a side of he came off the year with the numbers being above average, not even above average, just average numbers. He doubled down on himself in general, came out with better numbers and the type of season without Lamar being
MVP. So if you win an MVP, you have better numbers the next season, you should automatically win MVP again.
I'm not saying in that sense. What I'm saying is based off of without Lamar having his season that he had, without putting together what he put together, bro, the Ravens probably don't even be remotely close to what they was deep in the playoffs like that, bro. They might not even.
Are you talking about this year or last year?
This year, just this past season.
I don't know. I think you're trying to have it both ways.
No, I'm just saying, bro. I don't think the Ravens make it that far without Lamar playing the best he's played.
I agree with that. That applies to Josh Allen too.
But that's why I said with the argument of them of going against each other as far as for the MVP, I feel like Lamar had the season for MVP where like literally it goes both ways for both of them. Without them playing to that standard, their teams don't be where they was in the playoffs.
All right, get in here, Mike. What's up?
I got you.
Oh, stop, boo boo. My daughter
Cowboy
over
Mike,
here
what's
playing.
going on, my brother?
Yo, what's up, yo? My daughter over here
bro.
playing.
No, you good, big dog?
Thank you for muting me, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. But I mean, what you want me to answer? It was just a lot you said.
No,
What
I'm
y'all
just saying,
said.
like, just chime in because I know
Yeah,
you
general
were,
input.
Well,
yeah,
yeah, I mean,
I know you were big on Lamar for MVP.
yeah, of course. I mean, I thought Lamar. I just think Lamar's a better quarterback than Josh. That's the bottom line for me. Like, I just
Okay.
think he does more on the field. I think they took the ball out of Josh's hands and rewarded him this year. I never understood like how you throw the ball less and you don't win any meaningful games, but you beat the Chiefs and you beat the Lions, and it's like, oh yeah, he won 2 games, but you almost lost a lot of games late in the year. You lost to Houston. You could have lost to the Patriots. It's like you didn't play well coming down the stretch. So I never thought Josh would get it. And the fact that, again, we know Derrick Henry and James Cook kind of count each other out because they had really good seasons. But people ignore the fact that James Cook is that good. They say, okay, they didn't have any weapons coming into the year, but they did have weapons coming into the year. It is not household names. They said, oh, because Diggs left it, that would be the tipping point. In my mind, it's like Lamar
You know
didn't
they
have any
ain't have
weapons for
no
real.
weapons.
He had Stephon
They
Diggs
ran
with
it back
Stephon
with
Diggs
the
left.
same. They ran it back with the
And they
same
had,
team in the
we
tent,
know
bro.
for a fact
For
Secure
real.
was
Bro, they
good,
went
baby.
out and got Amari Cooper at the trade deadline because they didn't have
Bruh,
weapons.
that shit.
But they got Dalton, they had
In the same for the
Kincaid and
Ravens.
Dalton
Remember what the
Knox.
Ravens did? They had got what Johnson. They went and got Deontay Johnson, and then he never see the goddamn field for real, bro.
At
Like,
all.
you know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
but
So
Baltimore,
Zay Flowers is not a great receiver.
but when the season started, Baltimore had better receivers than Buffalo did.
I don't agree.
They had.
I can
think
agree.
that Zay
I can
Flowers.
agree to
I
that.
think that Zay
I can agree
Flowers
to
and
that. I can agree to
Bateman
that because
are better
Are
than
better than
any
Secure
Buffalo.
they came in
and
because they
those
came in
two
with
and those
Coleman
two tight
as
ends.
already being
No, I'm
a
talking about
rookie.
receivers. Hold on, we'll get to tight ends. I'm talking about receivers.
So you're saying Curtis Samuel, Secure,
Zay
what's
Flowers
the
is better
rookie?
than all the
Any
names you're
two
about to.
Buffalo wide
Yeah,
Okay, I
receivers.
give you
Zay
that. I give you
Flowers
that.
is.
I
Yeah,
don't.
I
I
Zay
can
don't.
see on
Flowers is
that.
definitely better than.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think there's two Buffalo wide receivers you could put together that's better than
Zay
Flowers and Bateman. And that's not even to say that Bateman and Flowers are good.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
I like Bateman, but I feel you.
yeah.
I agree.
And then when you get into the tight ends, I would still say it's comparable. Like I think Buffalo might have a slight advantage, but I think it's comparable.
I mean,
Yeah,
Mark
I think
Andrews
Likely
and
got the ball
Isaiah
more.
Likely, Mark
You got
Andrews, Isaiah Likely, Kincaid, and
Dawson
Knox.
No. I'd
I'm
rather
taking
take
Kincaid
Mark
over both of
Andrews
them
Likely.
personally.
No, I agree with you, but I don't think it's as big as a gap as the receivers are.
You don't think so?
No.
And then look at the defense. The Ravens defense wasn't good half the season.
No, because this
that's
is why
people
you
don't
so
talk about.
phony, Lethal. No, this is why you so phony, Lethal. Because before Mark Andrews dropped those passes,
Well, I'm saying
he
far
was
as
considered one of the best tight ends in the league.
I'm going off of based off of if you're talking about based off of legit the players, the talent between those options, we're comparing for those two. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro. I'll take Likely and Andrews over Kincaid.
And then with the James Cook thing, he's a great back. You know what I mean? They still had Ray Davis, so you gotta you gotta bring that up as well. But I think what people see, because they're not looking at it as, I guess, as deep as we are, they just see James Cook had a lot of touchdowns, but he didn't necessarily have a lot of yards. But they're not factoring in that Ray Davis shared that. But people aren't factoring that not only did Baltimore get Derrick Henry, but Derrick Henry ran for fucking 1,900 yards and could have went for 2,000 if they gave him the ball as much as we were asking them to give him the ball.
100%.
During the time when they were supposed to, yes. You know what I'm saying? But
he still had 1,900 yards. If James Cook had 1,900 yards, y'all would have led with that.
And Lamar still threw for what, 4?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Lamar had a great season. Nobody's denying that at all.
No, and that's why I make the case as far as like the team construction. I'd be like, I mean, Buffalo and Baltimore damn near just about the same.
I'm gonna say this.
Are they though?
We know for a fact that Lamar Jackson was what? He was an All-Pro, first team. That's usually the litmus test to tell you what quarterback is going to win MVP if it's going to go up to the quarterback. There's never history as a second team All-Pro guy and Josh Allen won an MVP. It just don't even make fucking sense. They just wanted to give him an award. Just come out.
I mean,
and say you want
Josh
to give him
did.
an award.
Josh, based off of the season they had, he for Buffalo, he was for Buffalo standard, and what they would do for Buffalo, yeah, he was having an MVP year for Buffalo, and just as the same
That's
for
why I don't
He was
Lamar.
the
like these
most valuable
conversations.
player in the NFL,
That's
bro.
why
He
I
was
don't
the
like
most
these
valuable player.
conversations because there's so many great players, and then we just try to reduce it as if, like, you could disagree that Josh Allen wasn't the MVP,
You
but to
could
make it
make
sound
the
like he
argument
shouldn't even have got
Saquon. You
consideration.
can make
is
this.
nuts.
You can make the argument for real that Saquon should have been the MVP of the league.
Yes, you could.
Agreed,
You know what I'm
100%.
saying? Because he
and I
asked.
thought
Because he.
McCaffrey was MVP the year before.
Yeah, I
Because
think
he
we all agree
actually
on that.
pulled. But that's why I feel like the MVP stuff shouldn't really be announced until after the Super Bowl anyway. You know what I'm saying? Just because for Saquon's sake, that'd be the perfect way to be like to represent an MVP, to really get an
I
MVP.
disagree with that because not all teams are created equal. You know,
But as far as like a value style,
if you put Derrick Henry on Philly instead of Saquon, you would have just said the same exact thing, but said Derrick Henry instead of Saquon.
you think so?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. There's nuance.
I don't know, bro, because
I think that's why
They
I
would've
get
been
they
worse,
run a
bro.
spread. They
Well,
run
I
a
think
spread.
that's why I
they
get
run a
frustrated
spread
because there's
based
nothing wrong.
offense.
Well, that's why I get frustrated. There's nothing wrong with y'all thinking that Josh Allen wasn't the MVP. There's
I mean, I'm
absolutely
not saying
nothing
he
wrong
he
with
wasn't.
that.
I'm not
The
saying
problem
he wasn't.
is that like y'all are making it sound like it shouldn't even have been a conversation.
I just feel like the MVP.
Not this year. I don't think it should have been. I think he's played better.
I feel like it should be weighed differently, as far as for MVP. Because the same way we can say for Saquon should have won MVP. I mean, it's true. Just you know what I'm saying. Not even just based off of him winning the Super Bowl with it too, but it's just like the impact of saying most valuable player in the league for that team, and based off of success what he did for that team, that's a good reason right there.
The problem is, well, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying the Bills didn't end the season well to me. That was my biggest thing. Like they didn't end the season on the up and up. They were really, really hiding the fact that Josh Allen was playing like pure shit. Like they just acting like, oh, those two games matter more than anything in the season. Go back and look at his numbers against the Jets, where they pulled them late in that game. They see how bad he was playing. Go back and look at the Patriot game. He was playing bad in. So it's those games to me.
That's a division game, though. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Baltimore played all their division games tough this year, didn't they?
Yeah, but we also saw how Lamar looked against Philly, how he looked against Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? Like so I mean, like it wasn't clean. It's a long NFL season. They lost to the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that was a bad loss, yo.
That's what I'm saying. But y'all not holding. I mean, it was early in the season.
Without Saquon,
but y'all don't hold that against Lamar. If
they
that was
won
Josh
4 in a row
Allen,
in
y'all
the
would put
season.
that up.
Does Philly really make it back to?
But it doesn't matter. It's the whole season.
Without Saquon, though,
his numbers are better. He was first team all-pro, and they had a winning streak going into the playoffs.
Saquon for sure could have been MVP. I would not have been mad if Saquon would have got MVP.
That's 100%
again. Like, bro, name anything he did positive in the last 6 games of the year.
You talking about Josh?
Yeah.
Well, he had 6 touchdowns against the Rams, and they lost that game because his defense gave up 45 points.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So what's the standard for?
Hold up, but wait.
What's the standard for
look
MVP?
What you just did. Hold up, whoa. I'm gonna let you finish. But look what you just did. I just said he scored 6 touchdowns, and his defense gave up 45. You were like, okay, anyway. As if that don't matter.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I didn't say a word.
I'm just saying.
What's the standard for
MVP? If Lamar had a game where he scored 6 touchdowns and the Ravens gave up 45 points, y'all would have said that. But when I say it, y'all like, nah, that don't matter.
Yeah, and just like how niggas said just like with golf, when golf had threw 5 fucking interceptions, but they still won the game.
Yes, that you should get knocked for that.
You know what I'm saying?
Here you just be like quarterback won, quarterback lost.
Okay, so that's why I go to. That's why the question of being like, what is the standard for MVP then?
It's whatever you want it to be.
Whatever the year by year basis is.
Yeah, because we seen Mahomes do the same thing. We seen Mahomes have a worse year and win MVP against Jalen Hurts.
Okay, so
They want to give it to who they want to give it to. It's not about the year or the team. I'm to the point I don't even give a shit about MVP anymore. It showed me last year.
That's why I
They
asked
do whatever they
that
want to
shit,
do.
because it's like
But
we
why
look
don't you
at it.
feel that way about the year that Lamar won?
Because Lamar's a better quarterback than Josh.
But
No, I'm talking about the previous year when Dak should have won.
Yeah.
Why don't
I
you
thought-
feel
I
that
thought-
Lamar got
I thought-
MVP that year?
I don't think he should have got it. I thought Dak should have got it, or either McCaffrey.
okay, but the type
I
of
feel like I'm saying that numerous
based
times.
off
I don't
of
think Lamar earned MVP. They gave it to him because of the
what happened to that? That's supposed to be that MVP year. How far did that take y'all? The rest of the
It
year.
doesn't matter.
But that's
We
what I'm
lost.
saying though.
It's
like,
a regular season award. It doesn't matter.
But that's what I'm saying though.
Joel Embiid won MVP. He's never even played in the conference finals. It doesn't matter. Jokic, the first year he won, or the second year I think it was, he won MVP. He was the only MVP in NBA history to never make the NBA finals. And then they won the championship. So you can't say that no more. So Embiid came along, won the MVP. Now he's the only MVP to never make the NBA finals.
So
but it doesn't matter.
So should the MVP awards and should the awards be just for the regular season? Should we not include into the playoffs?
Yes, because the playoff games. So, like for example, right, the number one seed only plays 2 playoff games before the Super Bowl. So it's hard for me to say you're the MVP when this guy that you playing in the Super Bowl played an extra game.
Okay, then we also look at this also as playoffs. Playoffs have brand new numbers. You have playoff numbers compared to, you know what I'm saying, regular season numbers. So why don't we
Super Bowl MVP?
Right. So why don't we have like playoff awards?
Because I don't think players.
They do. You got Super Bowl MVP.
Well, I don't think players won an award when they lost. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that if, like, say hypothetically, right? Just hypothetically, let's say the Rams made it to the Super Bowl and Matt Stafford won, NFC Championship Player of the Game or whatever. But then they go lose the Super Bowl. I don't think he give a fuck about that other award.
Should Cooper Kupp have been the MVP of the year? The year they won the Super Bowl when he did the Triple Crown.
Yes.
Yeah. And he won Super Bowl MVP.
Hell yeah.
Right. So like, shouldn't stuff like that be a reason of being of a value of an MVP though?
No,
I agree with you.
I don't, because I think. My bad, Mike.
Because if you're the MVP of the league, that means you are having a type of season where you should, like that type of season you should win the Super Bowl.
No, I
think
the problem is that, well, no, because it's a team game, and the reason that you're the MVP a lot of times could be because your team has a deficiency somewhere. So if your team, so hypothetically, let's say the Bengals went 12-5.
I was about to bring that up.
And he won MVP, but then they lost in the playoffs. Is he not the MVP when we already knew that he had a bad defense in the first place? And that's where the team game part comes in. That's why I brought up Josh Allen having the 6 touchdowns against the Rams, is because, like, we'll look at it and be like, yo, they lost that game.
He was balling that game too.
But his defense gave up 45 points. Like, I'm supposed to just be like, yo, come out here and score 50 points every week.
True, I get that mindset of it.
No, we
then
don't.
It'd be like, you look at the success behind. But you look at the success, and then you see the accolades that come behind what there was going on. Like Saquon got an argument, Cooper Kupp got the argument because that season that they had led to them getting a ring. You know what I'm saying? And then they got the numbers to, all right, like with Kupp. You know what I'm saying? He had the numbers, Triple Crown, he got the Super Bowl MVP. And that's like having an MVP year.
But that's also to ignore, because it's a team game, right? But that's also to ignore that they got Von Miller that same year, and Odell that same year. You know, and I ain't going you know what I mean? And Odell, I mean, he's obviously not old Odell, But at that point, before he got hurt again, he was still making Cooper Kupp's life a little bit easier.
Yeah, he was playing really well.
And that's what I'm saying. So I think a lot of times in MVP conversations, a lot of people try to shoehorn like this is what an MVP is, but each season isn't the same. So you can't have the same criteria.
But you
every
can have
year.
at least a benchmark or standard to kind of make it more, because we look at Lamar's season, and you look at Josh Allen's season, but then you look at Saquon's season and be like, out of all the three of those, you automatically be like, well, Saquon definitely should have been the MVP.
But he also had the way better team too.
Yeah.
He had AJ Brown, he had Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts.
Where they
defense.
True, but then you say like without Saquon, do they really win it all like they did
I
this
think
year?
so. I think they still like
you can make an argument and be like, it maybe so, maybe like they don't. We're not gonna say they don't make it to the Super Bowl.
They made a Super Bowl without Saquon just 2 years prior.
True.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, Miles
Should
Sanders
have won that. Should have won that.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
With that being said, oh my bad, bro.
That's why I said the value of it is like, I mean, based off of just those three names right there for that year and that season that they had, you would have gave it to Saquon before you gave it to Joshua Lamar.
Yes.
And and Josh ended up with the MVP.
Well, but that's an outlier, because the reason that I say yes is because Saquon was literally what, like 60 yards, or no, he was like 100 yards away
from breaking
the all-time record. So that's the outlier. That's the outlier. Like if he only had 1,800 yards, but if he only had 1,800 yards, maybe the people that thinks that he should have been MVP wouldn't think that he should be MVP.
Even the year that he made the playoffs with Daniel Jones that year, without, you know what I'm saying, he could have been MVP of the, you know what I'm saying, of the league. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I look at the MVP thing more like Saquon's season and what he did should be the standard of somebody being the MVP of the league.
Yes, but that's the problem though, because even with you saying that, right, I gotta go back to Derrick Henry. Was it 20? It was either 2019 or 2020, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like he had like 1,800 yards. Yeah, like Todd Gurley, I thought should have got an MVP.
Me too.
And they made the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying, that year, but you know what I'm saying, Gurley.
I thought he could have got MVP on one of those.
But yeah, so that's why I'd be like, it's tough when we talk about MVPs and what the value of an MVP is. You know what I'm saying? Because you see people doing certain things where it's like, yeah, bro, if you really look at it based off of the season, like he really deserved the MVP straight up. So it'd be like, well, why did Josh Allen get it over Saquon? Just because he didn't break the record, or just because Philly had the team? But it'd be like, but look at the season he had, bro. Look what he did, bro. Like, look, regardless of the fact, you know what I'm saying? He carried these niggas to a fucking Super Bowl,
right?
And he wasn't even a Super Bowl MVP. He ain't even get off crazy in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? But
hold on, stay there.
You know what I'm saying?
What you just said goes against the whole last 5 minutes of what you've been saying in this conversation.
But that's why I said it should be like a bar, like a standard.
So if you would have gave the MVP out after the Super Bowl, Saquon still wouldn't have got it based off the performance in the Super Bowl.
I mean, but based off of the impact value he had, he got off in the NFC Championship game. He got off in the division round. So in the division round. So it was just like, I mean, regardless, he didn't have to get off in the Super Bowl, like, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Just him being there.
But you also know that if that's when they're awarding it, most people are going to think about the last game. You know, that's why when you look at the Heisman, right? You know, when you look at the Heisman, it comes down to, did he have Heisman moments? It's not necessarily, what did he do for the whole season? It's, what did he do when he played Ohio State? What did he do when he played Michigan? Like, that's how.
Then when we look at it like that, be like, well, shit, look at the team. Look what he did to the Rams. Look what he did. You know what I'm saying? We just go down the list of what he did to the teams this year for Saquon to be like, bro, that's MVP. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So it's like, why didn't Saquon get it?
Because he's a running back.
Just because he's
Mhm.
running like that. And
That's
that's
the
why
answer.
that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's why I don't care about the fucking shit no more. I really don't. Because it's not about
you
everybody
rather
getting
give
a
them
fair
the
opportunity.
offensive
Yeah,
player
like the
of
last
year
running
It's a
back to
quarterback
win
award.
MVP, the last running back that won. Look, I'm 43 years old. The last time a running back won MVP, I was 30.
I'm gonna say it wasn't that long ago.
No,
Adrian
yes,
Peterson.
I was 30. That was Adrian Peterson back in 2012.
AP.
Yeah, 2012. And
That
then
was a long
before
time
that,
ago, man.
I mean, shit. I mean, but we had 3 in the last 20 years. I think we had Alexander, we've had LT, we've had AP.
And they
Before
all
that,
three
I
earned
think it
that
was
shit.
Barry Sanders and
forgive
Walter
you,
State. I mean, before that, it was Marshall Falk. I mean, we've had 4 in the 2000s.
Yeah, but then
Right,
you look
but
at
think about that though. We're in 2025 right
25
now. That's
years,
right.
though.
Yeah,
We
4 in
haven't
25 years.
That's
and we
disgusting.
haven't had a running back.
And
really,
not only
you know,
that, but Christian McCaffrey, right? When I was saying that he should have been MVP, he only ran for something like 1472.
Yeah.
But
but
he
the
The
had-
way
value
he
of
impacted the 49ers was crazy.
yeah.
not only
Crazy.
that, but he had more than 200 rushing yards than Derrick Henry on like 7 less carries.
Because he had more receiving yards.
And he broke O.J. Simpson record for touchdowns in a game. I think it was
Yeah,
like 15 games.
yeah.
Straight.
Yeah.
Bro, he was going crazy.
See what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. Like it changes year to year because
Well, see,
you know,
just like
obviously
you
you
can
would
stay
have to
there
go
with
back.
that. Just
Huh?
like when Jonathan Taylor had his 1,800-yard year, if we would have beat Jacksonville or even just beat the Raiders before, so we didn't have to really beat Jacksonville, go into the playoffs, and he carry us to at least a conference championship game, I would have been like, yeah, you could give JT an MVP.
Nah, but I would argue that no team that loses at Jacksonville should have an MVP candidate.
Fuck you.
Oh, speaking of long times, you know what I mean? I'm 43 years old. The last time the Colts won in Duval, I was 32.
Oh, damn.
Stop it, bro.
Tough.
I was watching the game. I watched the winning the time we won. The last time we did win. That watching that game was sweet.
Who was the quarterback in that game?
It was Lucky Boy.
Okay.
Lethal, how you feel about your owner passing away?
We put up a 40 burger.
Oh, Lethal said they good. Lethal said ain't no death stopping them.
Damn.
R.I.P. to Whiskey Jim, dog.
We ain't pointing up for Jim Irsay?
I mean, I'm saying it in a good way though, bro. I'm
Okay,
saying like
respect.
He said fuck him in a good way.
Okay, respect. Okay. Word.
It's a good salute to the skies. You know what I'm saying?
Lethal came in here like a Eminem song. You know what I'm saying? He was like, "Yo, the daughter's about to take over, and the beat just gonna go on, and we gonna win shit."
This time, bro. It's time. The last nap time back, bro.
I think y'all defense improved.
Okay, Indy on the map for real. Nap time on the map for real. You know what I'm saying?
I can see y'all throwing to y'all tight end 95 times.
Just like that Chuck Strong season, bro. This the Jim season, okay? This season for Jim.
But you see what's going to happen.
Shout out to Tyler Warren. I'm putting it in my ledger right now.
What's going to happen, Mike?
Tyler Warren is about to put up Jason Witten targets.
If Tyler Warren gets 950 yards this season and like 14 touchdowns, Lethal's going to be like, no, because Dallas Clark got.
I'm going to tell you right now. Shane Steichen is going to hold up the Lombardi this year and go give the iconic, this one's for Jim.
This is crazy.
All right, let me ask you a question, Lethal. This is serious question. Is Steichen on the hot seat?
Oh.
Nah.
Mm-hmm.
No. Mike McDaniels is on the hot seat. You know what I'm saying? And since Red's not in here, Kyle Shanahan on the hot seat.
Nah, Mike McDaniels was making the playoffs at least, though.
Bro.
No, I think you're on the hot seat too, for sure.
I think he's on the hot seat too, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, he's on my list. Like,
bro, honestly, bro.
All right, well, let's do that. Let's do that now. Okay.
To be honest, Shane good, bro.
What
is the right
coaches
coach.
around the league do y'all think are on the hot seat?
Mike McDaniels, Zach Taylor,
Tomlin.
Tomlin, probably so. I
Sean
can lean to
McDermott.
Okay.
and Kevin Stefanski.
Do you think that if they only win 6 or 7 games,
Who?
could Jonathan Gannon be gone?
Oh, and the Cardinals.
I don't think
Yeah.
he's been there long enough.
Me
Him and
either.
Tyson been there the same amount of
I
time.
think he built. I think the Cardinals is Kyle. I think people sleep on Kyler Murray for bro. I think he could do it, bro. I think he alright. Y'all seen Marv beefed up, bro. That man was.
How many games does the Giants have to win for Dayball to be back?
At least 8.
Mm-mm.
At least 8.
No.
You could get 8. You could get 8
9?
out. You get 8 out of Russ.
Okay.
I think 9.
He got to
They
win
not-
9 games to avoid the hot seat.
So with that 9, what if they win 9 but don't make the playoffs?
He's still good, bro. He got
Still
Jackson
good, but
Dart.
I don't think they
Bro.
believe in him as much as
Like,
they was acting like they believe in him.
Wow, that nigga good, bro. Giants is
But
gonna be fine. Once
he
Jackson
did
Dart
turn
takes
Daniel
down
Jones
next
around.
year, it's all about next year, bro. Giants is all about next year. They're gonna display. They're gonna show y'all niggas what the team looking like. You know what I'm saying? With Jackson Dart gonna have next year. Then get everybody gonna get the chemistry down packed. Jackson gonna watch, learn the offense some more, learn the team some more. Next year, the Giants is gonna
So
be.
you got Russ starting.
I got Russ starting for the whole year, bro. I mean,
I can see that. I can see
I
that.
don't. There's no rush to put Jackson Dart out there, bro.
All right.
There's no
I
rush.
gotta ask. How many games does Stefanski have to win?
Wow.
As long as he plays Shador and gives him a look in the regular season, I feel like that'll keep his job. The way he plays
Agreed,
the Shador situation,
Agree, Cup.
it's tied to his job security.
I think that all determines on if Shador is his week 1 starter or whoever the week 1 starter is. Whoever his week 1 starter is will let you know his job security.
It's definitely gonna be Shador. I mean, do I have to mention it?
And so the AFC South, Lethal's home. If Cam Ward doesn't win 7 games, does that put Callahan on the hot seat?
He just got the quarterback, and he just got there.
I know, but he's supposed to be the offensive guy, and
it depends on how it looks. Though I feel you. It depends on how it looked. If it looked like with Levis last year, yeah, some.
I mean, you got to kind of look at it though from the
he's a
outside.
nepo baby anyway.
We gotta give niggas time. You know what I'm saying? Like the only way the young quarterbacks actually turn out good is if you don't switch shit all up on them early in the development. You know what I'm saying? So we'll have to give that some time, bro. I'll say like the first 2-3 years, we'll let you know if that marriage is the right marriage.
Yeah, if I don't see them running a bunch of read option shit, like because Cam Ward hadn't really played under the center a lot. I looked at the tape on him. It's like he's staying in the shotgun. So
Right.
if they're not running stuff that's gonna really, like Lito said, kind of play their skill set, I ain't worried about how Cam Ward personally.
I'm not either. I like him though. Like I like his personality and all that. But yeah,
Same here.
Yeah,
I love a shit talker, but like, nah, homie,
about,
you solid, but you ain't really like that.
What about shout out to Mr. Logical. What about could Raheem Morris find himself on the hot seat this year?
I can see it. I can see it.
That's a name right there, dog. That's a name.
I can see it. If they don't get more than 9 wins this year,
they got to get 10 with the first time starter.
That's
for him.
Raheem.
For
what potential coaches could be out there right now that maybe like a Mike McCarthy,
Sean McDermott? No, I'm just
a Sean McDermott.
Mike
You
Tomlin.
know what I'm
You
saying?
know what I'm saying?
It could be. It don't really matter what the Falcons look like. It could be of does Michael Penix look good? Because if he looks good enough, we just
Y'all
gonna
didn't
have
think
to
he
go
looked.
ahead
Y'all
and
didn't think
upgrade
he
real
looked
quick.
good.
No, but that's
in
the thing, Lethal. That's the reason that I'm asking though, because
he did. Bro. He
Raheem
looked
Morris is a defensive coach. That's why I'm
right, and
asking.
he needs a he. I feel that's why I said he probably is on because Michael Penix is going to need an offensive guy, bro. Regardless, I'm gonna say it now, but I think he'll manage to be able to work with Raheem for this year. It didn't seem like they ain't do too bad when they put him in the game anyway, bro. You know what I'm
He
saying?
played well to me.
So I
I
gotta
thought he looked real good.
Yeah,
that's why I said
I thought he was the best guy coming out of college anyway.
you gotta see how it go for this year. That's why I said he came in, he looked good, bro. So going into this year, if they don't get more than 9 wins, bro, maybe so.
So what's the mark for since you brought his name up? What keeps Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco next year?
Super Bowl win.
Damn.
Actually, I'll be generous.
Look at their schedule.
I'll be generous.
Their schedule week is
They do have the
No, that
easiest-
schedule they should be like
they do have
14
to
and
be-
3.
easy.
They
No,
do
they're
have
gonna be
the
mad.
easiest. They do have
That's
the
why I
easiest
picked them to win the division.
Bro,
They'll
that
be back.
schedule
But
is so weak. That schedule is so weak. They could get swept by the Rams and still go 13 and 4.
But that's the problem though. That's the problem. As weak as their schedule is, it's the division games that's gonna really matter. It's their whole division in general that's gonna matter to them.
Well, I think that I trust their defense to rattle Sam Darnold.
Big facts.
You know, I think that the Cardinals are still a year away.
Yeah, me too.
So, like, it just comes down to me. It just comes down to them and the Rams.
Shout out to James Conner.
I think the Cardinals are gonna display. I think they're gonna have that look of they're a year too early type season. I think the Seahawks are gonna have that. It's gonna look like Geno Smith, but probably a few more interceptions.
What if they play? No, but what if they play Milroe?
I don't see Milroe getting in this year. I don't see
Shit, I do.
Dart playing this year. I don't see Milroe playing this year. The quarterback that I do see playing coming out the drafts, Chuck and Will Howard.
You forgot one.
I'm not putting Riley in there.
No, you know by default, Quinn Ewers going to start like 4 games.
Oh, based off, yeah, because 2 of my, I feel that could be. Hey, you
ain't lying to bro. You ain't lying, dog. He missed at least 4 games a year.
He ain't lying with that one. He ain't lying with that one. That definitely could happen.
Something's gonna happen, unfortunately. I hope not.
Like, far as just like niggas who you know who's not gonna be should be starting anyway. Like that's like Dylan Gabriel being your week 1 starter. That's insane.
Yeah, you're gonna lose.
You know. So it's like
I don't know if he start Dylan Gabriel, then I'm like, he definitely keeping his job.
you know, yeah. The boxes is packed after the game is over.
Yeah, like if it ain't Kenny Pickett or Flacco, I'm like, oh.
Now, would you start Flacco or would you start Kenny?
I would start Kenny. It's time for
Kenny
Flacco.
Kenny played well though. I can't even front.
Yeah, I think it's time. I think it's time for Flacco to just be the daddy.
Do you think Cleveland actually what they really did was they got Flacco, they got Kenny, they drafted Dylan and Shador based off of Shador's competition is you gotta beat out a rookie that came out with you. You gotta get past a nigga that we traded for and the old guy.
No, I think that
And Deshaun Watson.
I think he's out this year. I think he's still out.
I don't even look at this nigga as a quarterback anymore.
No. I think that the plan was Kenny Pickett's going to be the guy. Let's bring in Flacco for insurance. You know, just like Anthony Richardson, right? Like if he gets hurt or whatever, we got a vet that can take over and keep us afloat till he gets back. then I think that they liked Dylan Gabriel. I think that they did like him. But then
Practice squad.
I think they looked at it and was like, nobody took Shador yet?
But
They didn't expect Shador to be there. Like, I think.
that's
So
that's dumb though.
when he was, it was like, well, like, why not?
And then what? Sit here and cut him?
No.
They
No,
know
Yeah.
he
No,
gonna clear waivers.
I think that they are either hoping, well, they're probably hoping not knock on wood, but if somebody gets hurt somewhere, I can trade Flacco or whatever, whoever, Kenny Pickett, whoever.
They're gonna bring in Kirk Cousins. If they trade for any quarterback, they're gonna trade for Kirk Cousins.
I don't think they can now. I thought that originally, but I don't think they can now because with the circus, for lack of better words, that comes with Shador and the attention that he's gonna, not him the person, but the attention that's gonna come with him. I don't think you can make that move now.
Does he have to start week 1? Does Shador have to start week 1?
Yes.
No,
I think he does.
no, he was a 5th round pick.
That wasn't his fault though.
No, 100%.
If you're Cleveland,
Say that you got to start a 5th round pick is wild.
I mean,
You said it. We said it number 4.
but if you're Cleveland, which state are y'all really in right now? Are you really in a rebuild, or do you feel like you have quality talent around, or you can do a win now?
I don't know, because speaking of what state they in, their mayor was coming out yesterday talking about we got more priorities than the Browns.
Yeah, that was crazy. You sent me that shit. I said, "Wow, that shit is out." Wow.
But no, I think that if you're the Browns, I think
Because they got talent on the squad, bro.
No, they don't.
They picked it, bro.
They don't got enough talent. I'll put it like that.
All right.
I think they got enough.
They got what? They got Myles Garrett.
They're 1 year removed from the playoffs.
Right, but think about it. They got Myles Garrett.
Mason
Depending
Graham.
on how you feel about Mason Graham.
I mean, it's
They got that linebacker that me and Cups was talking about yesterday that I can't say his name.
Jeremiah,
That's-
bro,
I fuck
no,
with him.
Jeremiah, he's
Yeah,
hurt,
him.
dog.
But they got Denzel Ward, who is the corner version of Tua or Olave. You know what I
Grant
mean?
Delpit came on last year though, bro.
He's
Yeah.
all right, but he ain't real.
He got back
You know
into
what
the
I'm
zone.
saying?
He
And
was
then on
coming off the
offense,
corner.
Then on offense, you got Jerry Jeudy, who I like, but you know what I'm
And
saying?
Njoku-
Like,
David Njoku.
you know what I'm saying? They got Quinshon Judkins in the draft, so he should be a good pick. They still got Jerome Ford. But the problem is that you got the dudes that we were just talking about in your division, Lamar and Burrow. You got both of them in your division.
But they
And
struggled. They
the rest of their
struggled with the
teams-
Browns.
And you got Aaron Rodgers about to come into town.
You ain't got nothing on your roster on offense that makes Baltimore or Pittsburgh go, we in for a long day today.
Yeah, but Pittsburgh right now, even though we sit here and wait on August 18th when Aaron Rodgers decides to sign with the Steelers, because that's when Brett Favre signed with the fucking Vikings, and waited that long till August 18th. So that's when fucking Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Steelers. So okay, so during that time, they ain't gonna have no quarterback, bro. The Steelers got
with Will Howard, they could beat the Browns 9-6.
And with who, bro? With
Don't matter. It's a
Flacco,
team sport.
Kenny,
You know what I'm saying?
or
TJ Watt
Sanders, you
will
think
TJ
Will
Watt
Howard
will
is going?
disrupt that line.
I don't think Will Howard will be able to get DK Metcalf the ball at all.
I don't know. If nothing else, Will Howard got an arm. I just don't trust his decision.
I don't trust the Steelers' old line holding up against Myles Garrett.
I don't know, man. That's tough, man. Like if the Bengals could go 3-3 in division this year, they should keep Stefanski off of that.
If the Bengals
Come
go
on, the Browns.
I mean, I'm sorry, the Browns. My bad. If the Browns go 3-3 in the division this year,
but
he should keep his job just
it goes
based
off.
of that.
You should, if they go 3-3, it should be based off of where y'all be. If you beat them at who y'all beat, and if y'all beat them,
I don't even care. I don't even care that division. Like if you beat Baltimore,
I feel like if you got to get 10 wins to be 10 wins is the standard in that division.
Well, that's if you're trying to win the division, but I don't think the Browns are trying to win. I don't think the Browns know that they can't win that division. They might not say that out loud. They ain't going to say that publicly. But the Browns internally know that they can't win that division because Cincinnati, even without a defense, is a bigger threat than you.
That's true. But they can wreck that division though.
So that's where you got to get, and that's why I brought up him being on the hot seat, because at what point do you look for results, and at what point does the reality kick in?
But that's why I said Mike McDaniels is on the hot seat more this year, believe it or not, just because what has he done?
Well, Miami had the schedule last year, like the best. They had the best schedule in the division. It was just that Tua got hurt, and that's the other problem. That's the other problem, though. You're holding him responsible for your quarterback not being healthy.
He asked for him. He wanted Tua. He came to Miami for Tua. This is a package deal, and he went to bat to saying like, Tua is the guy, my guy. We gonna do this.
So what if Tua? Okay, so how about this? What if Tua plays the whole year, no injury, right? Let's say he throws for 40.
You're expecting.
No. I'm just asking a question. You know what I'm saying? Let's say he throws for 4,100 yards, 35 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
What's the record?
But you go 7-10, or 8-9. Do you still get fired, even though Tua has shown, or what? You know what I mean? Like if he stays healthy.
Off of that, because we finally got a Tua fully healthy. You know what I'm saying? I'll take that into consideration and be like, all right, now let's see.
Last time he was healthy, he was like 3rd or 4th in MVP.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like for Mike McDaniels right now, it's all tied to Tua. That's why I feel like he on the hot seat, because Miami is probably like, all right, Tua, your clock ticking, nigga. You gotta stay healthy the rest of this whole year. If he does not stay healthy this year, if he misses any type of time this year, Mike McDaniels might be having to looking for a new job.
Well, if I was Miami and Tua gets hurt, I'll probably fire McDaniel the day after Tua got hurt. Like we've seen this before. We've seen this movie.
But if you was a GM at the time for Miami, Tua gets hurt. He was having a great season again, but Tua gets hurt. Are you as a GM thinking to yourself, all right, I need a new quarterback. Do I keep the coach that I got and let him know that I don't want this quarterback no more, that he preached for, and I want a new quarterback?
I might fire you just because you made me take Tua over Justin Herbert.
Damn, Gucci.
And it was the pick before that. It was the pick before.
But the numbers show that it was a good decision. The injury shit is the reason why you feel that way. So
I don't know, because Tua still can't play when
the cold.
Yeah, when the weather gets a little.
That's what I'm saying. Like, could he do that? Could Mike McDaniel?
Because he don't have the arm to play in the cold.
No.
Could he do this with a different? Could he succeed with a different?
Well, shit. Justin Herbert ain't showed that he had the arm to play anywhere in January.
No, I'm not.
Warm, cold.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
In a sauna.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not going to disagree with you per se. But for the
he looked bad against Houston. Bad.
I'll give
but for the sake of conversation,
Trevor Lawrence credit for playing in the cold that year when they went to Kansas City.
But for the sake of conversation, just for the sake of conversation, you know, Miami usually starts out pretty well, and then every December they fall apart.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, if it's, would you feel like it's a coach thing, or would you feel like it's a player thing?
Because I think it's both.
Because for Mike McDaniels, I might feel like can you do this with another quarterback? With a quarterback that I feel like can play first of all, play a full season.
I think that he's not that good of a coach. And I think Tua is a good quarterback. I think that he's a limited quarterback.
Mike McDaniel should go back to being an OC rather than a head coach.
Yes,
He's more Josh McDaniel.
he's more North Turner.
Yeah, North Turner for sure. Not Josh McDaniel. No.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that Tua just comes with a certain limitation. Like a guy like Tua would probably be awesome in a dome. And that's the problem within itself.
Maybe Indy.
And that's the problem within itself, right? Is that if you're Miami, to even think about Super Bowl, to even just to say the word Super Bowl, you got to have home field advantage.
Yeah.
You can't do it without home field.
So do you feel like Tua is really the franchise quarterback for Miami?
No. And it's not because of him, though. I just think that, like I said, I just think that you're limited based on. I don't see Tua leading. Not saying that Miami is can't do it.
He's not a Miami quarterback.
Right. I'm not saying that Tua can't. I'm not saying that Miami can't do it as a team, but I don't think you can look at Tua and say, "Let's go to Orchard Park and get this win."
He can't be Trent Dilfer.
No, because Miami don't got the defense to even
Nope.
put him in that
Defense.
position. You know what I'm saying? So I think that if Tua played in so if Tua was in San Francisco
with Kyle Shanahan,
that would be lit. You know what I'm saying? Because of their defense.
If you put Brock Purdy in Miami, do you think Mike McDaniels have better success?
Yes. I do.
Maybe.
Because I think Brock Purdy is timing and his accuracy.
I think
That's what makes him a good quarterback to me.
And then with those weapons,
man, those weapons.
I think that part works.
See, Brock, what the media does to Brock Purdy is what you did to Jalen Brunson earlier. You know, where Brock Purdy can have 4 or 5 games in a row where he looks the part, and then he'll have a bad game, and it's like, yo, I thought you told me he was the guy.
Yeah, I'm like, damn.
That's what we did to Dak when he lost to Miami. Because I mean, hey, MVP not supposed to have a bad game.
He didn't have a bad game.
But that's not true.
He didn't have a bad game. Dak drove us down for a game, a go ahead touchdown, and the defense lost it in a minute, and it did a lot of field goals.
Right.
I agree.
No, remember when we were talking about Eli? Remember when we were talking about Eli? And I was like, yo, Tom Brady got them the lead. Remember I said that. Tom Brady got them the lead.
Without them throws, Eli.
And then that defense gave it up.
Without them throws.
That's what happened to Dak that day.
That's true.
Literally.
That's true.
Literally. I mean, the defense is just laid down, bro. They were just dinking and dunking that shit. They won't even like really having no explosive plays. It's like, damn. Throwing the ball to Mostert at the backfield. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Tackle them.
Well, the NFL has the same problem that the NBA has. Because in the NBA, everybody wants to shoot threes. In the NFL, everybody wants to throw the ball. Hey, you got Devin Achane back there.
Come on, man.
Give him the fucking ball and Mostert.
Give him the ball, dog.
But I think because how the Chiefs and how Andy Reid started winning without a rushing attack that you need a feature back in a sense. Niggas is just waving off to like.
But if that's the case, why even have them?
Yeah,
you could have went and got you a Ray Davis.
Right. I feel the league is stupid because they're trying to suppress the running backs. But again, you got Gentry coming to the league making more money than Derrick Henry. Boom. So again, you can't stop these guys from making money. It's not going to happen. Like the market is the market. They're trying their best. That's why I love Divas as adjusters and say, okay, you want to keep passing that bitch? We're gonna stay in 2 deep ball game.
Well, it's
they about to reset these new running backs, just like Gibbs and Robinson.
Yep.
And the new ones that come in, they about to set the market.
It's just like the NBA, right? It's just like the NBA. We keep downplaying how important like centers are, right?
Yeah.
But look at these 4 teams that are left: Rudy Gobert, Hartenstein, Miles Turner, and maybe you could make an argument that Cat's not like the rest of them. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so when you look at the NFL, right? When you look at like the playoff teams and how it played out last year, right? Obviously, you had Saquon, you had Derrick Henry, you had James Cook, you had what's my man name? Kyron Williams.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Detroit had Gibbs and Montgomery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, it's still Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, you still need running backs.
You still need running backs, and that's the problem. Is that these teams are like, hey, I got to give Trevor Lawrence $52 million or whatever, and it's like, you got Trevor Etienne
Mm.
and Tank Bigsby.
Come on, man.
You ain't winning shit anyway.
But that's why I say I hate how the league be going with. They want to do the spread offense. They want everybody want to do going shotgun, the RPO stuff, because when the RPO got put in the league, it was such a like, oh, you know how I go, copycat league. Everybody want to do it because they seen some success out of that shit. So now everybody want to do that shit. And it's like, nah, bro, we need to go back to niggas doing I formation. Let me
Come
see
on,
some I
dog. Fullback.
strong. Let me see
Who the
some,
fullbacks
you know
at?
what I'm saying? Let me see a single set. You know what I'm saying? Two tight end single. Let me see can I get a stretch play? You know, we were famous for running the stretch. You know how many times I used to see the stretch be ran in Naptown, bro?
Hmm.
Two
Oh,
tight
draw.
ends,
Yeah, with
I
nobody
got a
bums.
draw
on the
Yeah,
playing it.
line,
they even have
nobody
bums like
doing
Joseph Adai running that shit.
just
He caught you for that,
bobbing
bro.
and weaving. You know what I'm saying?
Lethal only like
I
him because he
haven't
went to
seen a
LSU.
stretch play called in Naptown for some shit. I used to get on Madden, and then as soon as I hit my single ace, there's the stretch play as the first play for circle. I used to run for 281 yards consistently by just using the stretch play, and we don't even run that shit no more. Niggas don't do that type of shit no more. Niggas want to run. Niggas want to run the fucking zone read out of shotgun.
Imagine,
For
imagine,
fucking what?
imagine if Miami instead of
Is Rez trying to
instead of
speak?
Tua, who? Oh, I didn't even see he was in here. My bad.
Yo,
President
did I
Texas.
just walk into somebody telling high school about how they play?
No, you walked in on somebody telling you that I miss the old days when niggas ran stretch plays, bro. Ran the stretch, the HB stretch.
It's like when you after you dude graduate, he'll come back and tell us stories about, yeah, man, I remember, we had the state championship and I had, we were supposed to win, but coach called that bullshit play. Like that's what I walked into, but in virtual
Time
form.
out, time out, Riz. Time out,
You
Riz.
see,
I
you see,
know,
you see what Red,
I
you
know
see how
you didn't
Red
just
be?
pop up on the hot box to disrespect Al Bundy 4 touchdowns in a game at Polk High.
You know I did.
Terrible.
I got
When it's
I
the
got a couple
Madden
of those things
version,
too.
when it's the Madden version, yes,
First
I
of
will
all, bro,
always.
Madden 06 and Madden 07 is always gonna be my go-to Maddens all time for life, bro. You know what I'm saying? I will pop in the game right now,
You
bro,
know what?
on the
Go home,
P2 and
Roger.
play, bro. Stop playing with me.
Yeah.
Don't nobody talk to me about Madden unless you talking 06, 07 prime Madden time.
Yeah. Oh.
But
All
yeah,
right,
that's the
guys.
Hold
problem.
on.
That's the problem
What's
with
the
these
conversation
with
tonight?
the
Hold on,
league
wait.
now, bro.
We
I
talked
had you. Give
about
me
how
1 second.
if the 49ers don't win the Super Bowl, Kyle Shanahan ain't going to be back.
Well, that's terrible logic.
That's what we talking about.
If y'all
Who
don't have
thinks
a
who
winning
thinks that?
season, does Kyle
Who thinks
Shanahan
Me?
that?
get the boot?
Me?
You think that? You think if we don't win a Super Bowl, the Kyle Shanahan gets fired?
Yep.
That's terrible logic,
I
Mike.
just think a winning
Because y'all
season.
schedule
I'm
is
just going
very
winning
favorable this
season.
year. I think
But,
that
but
y'all
that's not
defense
for.
will be back.
No, I think no. So what I'll say is this: if we don't finish above 500 this year, like, yeah, no, that means something went terribly wrong, and chances are, like, Kyle Shanahan will be in trouble. But I think even that he'll still have another year after that. If we go 4-15 or something like that, then yeah, 4-13, then yeah, for sure. But if he goes 10-6, or shoot, 10-6, yeah, he'd be good. If we make it to the playoffs and lose in the second round, he's not getting fired for that.
So
That
Rez, if he
that's
only
that's
wins
not
y'all
good logic.
six or seven
You would
games
bring
and
him
not
back.
getting the
Why?
boot, does he get the boot? Does 6 or 7 games give him a boot?
Six or seven, winning 6 or 7 games, no, that would not. So Kyle Shanahan has built up a lot of social capital with the one. You got to think it's the ownership and it's the GM. Kyle Shanahan, when we signed Kyle Shanahan, we saw Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. We signed them to matching deals. And every time we read up Kyle Shanahan, we read up John Lynch. They're tied together. So in order for Kyle Shanahan to get fired, that means Jed York and John Lynch have to decide that he's gone. That's not going to happen after one season.
Is John Lynch might not be getting fed up with Kyle Shanahan not sealing the
No,
deal?
no, because he doesn't think because see that's the thing. Y'all act like people like every team wins the Super Bowl every year, and everybody that doesn't win the Super Bowl had a bad season. That's not the case. You can have a really good season and just not win the Super Bowl. It happens every year. Every year. So let me ask you this: if John Harbaugh doesn't win the Super Bowl this year, do y'all think that he gets stuck in the Ravens?
Yes,
No.
yes, I do.
I think John Harbaugh might be on the hot
I think
seat.
it
That's
depends on.
crazy.
I think it depends on how it
I'm
looks.
telling y'all, bro.
John
No,
Harbaugh
no.
might be on the
Okay,
hot
Perez.
seat, bro.
So
Just like
I'll
Sean
put it like this.
McDermott's on the hot seat.
Some of them
Talk
do.
about,
I think that if Baltimore makes it to the AFC Championship again, and they don't win, I don't think he gets fired.
Okay,
If,
all right. Let's do
Buffalo,
this.
if Baltimore gets eliminated in the first round of the playoffs,
In the first round of the
he
playoffs,
comes
yes.
into next season on the hot seat.
What
In the
about Sean
first round,
McDermott?
yes.
But
But not winning.
Sean McDermott also?
Sean, no. Okay, historically, what coach ever got fired because they didn't win the Super Bowl?
Mike McCarthy.
No, he
Andy Reid.
didn't.
Andy
No, he
Reid.
didn't.
Andy Reid.
McCarthy got fired because he was going 12-5 and losing in the first round.
Andy Reid. The Eagles.
Andy Reid did not get fired. And Reid did not get fired because he didn't win Super Bowl. They went to 4 straight Super Bowls, and then we had a bad season. After he had a bad season, that's when he got fired.
But
He
if
didn't
I
get fired for not lose.
4 straight bowls.
Nobody
Those
just
4
didn't
straight
win the
conference
Super Bowl
games,
fired.
and then he made it to the bowl.
I think it was I think it was 5 straight conference games in one Super Bowl.
One Super Bowl, but he didn't. Did he get fired? Did he get fired the year after they lost the Super Bowl?
No,
I thought he did.
No, he didn't.
I don't think he did.
My bad.
That wasn't the year after.
No coach in this history. No coach in the history of the NFL has been fired. They're like, yo, he keeps getting us so close to the Super Bowl.
Didn't Jimmy
and not winning, so
Johnson
we gotta
get
let him
fired
go.
after the Super Bowl?
No, he didn't.
Actually, Andy Reid was still there
Jimmy quit.
for 7 or 8 years after they lost that Super Bowl.
I thought
Jimmy
the
Johnson.
story was. I thought the story
Yeah,
was-
he left in 2012.
I thought
Yeah,
Jimmy
Jimmy
Johnson coached the team. Jimmy Johnson coached in the back-to-back Super Bowls, won back-to-back Super Bowls, and lost to the Niners in '95, and then in '94, and then got fired that year. Then Barry Switzer came and coached the Super Bowl.
Very true.
Nobody's ever gotten fired because they just didn't win
What
Super
about
Bowl.
Mike
That's
Holmgren?
never happened.
Mike
Who?
Mike Holmgren.
Mike Holmgren won a Super Bowl.
He didn't win the Super Bowl. He lost the Super Bowl to the.
Well, no, he
Steelers.
won the Super Bowl in Green Bay.
He won in Green Bay.
I thought he lost it to what's called him when he goes to Seattle. Did he lose to
They beat
Pittsburgh?
the Patriots. That was the year that Desmond Howard won MVP.
He lost in Seattle. I think he lost in Seattle against Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
But he didn't get fired that next year.
Okay, I'm just guessing. I'm just throwing guys out there.
That's what I'm just saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like historically, that's not a thing. Now, if there's an expectation that we should be performing a whole lot better, then and like we like this year here, we're set up based on the schedule to win at least 10 games. If we win less than 10 games this season, something is going terribly wrong.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I said it's based off of y'all have a winning season. If Kyle Shanahan might get the
If we win 3 games this year, Kyle Shanahan's getting fired. Like that's a thing. But if we win 10, 11 games,
6 games is the
That's the thing.
with this schedule. No. I'm saying if with this, what I'm saying is 6 to 8 games. If it comes down to like, oh, we lost a lot of players, or like something happened last year. We had holdouts coming into the season. Like this year here, everything's actually shaping up a lot better. This is the first year. Nobody got any contract problems. Everybody's at OTAs. Everybody's healthy. This is supposed to be the year with our schedule that we can like come into the season like being a foot like Brock Purdy's not coming off of a shoulder surgery or rehabbing something. CMC is coming back healthy. Everybody's healthy except for Brandon Ayuk.
And that's why I said what I said. That's why I feel like if y'all don't win it all, then he's gonna get fired.
No, but that's the thing because I think we're looking at it from different perspectives when it comes to Jed York. Jed York sees Kyle Shanahan as one of the best coaches in the NFL. I think
Do
if something
you?
goes bad this year, that's two bad seasons. That's
Y'all
But
two
do
seen
you
the
seasons
think?
of
y'all
bad
seen
Do
the
you
things.
think he's one
Terry
of the best
Money,
coaches in the
Kyle
NFL?
Yeah.
Shanahan resume?
Oh,
Y'all
Do
seen
you
that
think he's the
resume?
best, one of the best coaches in the NFL?
I do. I think he's one of the best coaches in the NFL. I think he's the top 5 coach in the NFL. I do.
I think
No,
Nick
I think he's top
Sirianni is
five.
better than
I don't.
Kyle
Again, I'm
Shanahan.
saying gonna go hardball. I just don't think they do enough.
He's top 3.
I think he might be top. I think he might be top five. I give him top five. I'm not gonna shit
I
on
think
Nick
him,
he's
but
top 5.
Sirianni is
I
better
think
than
he's top
Kyle
5. I don't think he's top
Shanahan.
3.
I don't think
Well,
I
he-
you
I
can
think
say
that
that.
Kyle Shanahan is proof that nerves exist.
yeah.
Absolutely. I also think that Kyle Shanahan is proof that sometimes it's like there's a such thing as a losing recipe. And he finds a way to do it. Like in like the worst times. It just happens. But also certain things happen that sort of out of his control in some cases. So it's sort of like limited sneakers happens, but
It's
back
well,
to what
it's
Letha
But
just
kind of
said.
it's
Letha,
kind of
we
it's kind of
seen
a catch
y'all. We
22
seen
because if you blame Shanahan for the Super Bowl against Kansas City that just happened, not the first one, but this recent one, if you blame Shanahan for that, then what do you do with that NFC Championship game when they were down 17 to Detroit?
that's my point.
well.
Like
My question would
you
be:
can't throw out all the good things that people do just because something bad happened.
Would you rather go back to the Harbaugh time, or would you rather have Kyle Shanahan?
With with with
Good
with
question.
Jim Harbaugh, we had 2 good seasons. One that we went to the Super Bowl. Well, Kyle Shanahan, we've been to the NFC Championship 3 times, been to the Super
Yeah,
Bowl twice.
you're making
Hold
my
up.
point.
When the
You're
fuck
making
did
my point.
Caruso get this 3-point shot?
Get mad at it
And
with the Lakers.
and like so Nick Sirianni. So
But y'all did that.
Lethal,
But y'all did that. But he also did that with Colin Kaepernick. He didn't have a Brock Purdy, and he was you know what I'm saying, he didn't have a Joe Flacco. He didn't have a, you know what I'm saying, he did this with Colin Kaepernick. So imagine
but Colin
if
Kaepernick was not a bad
Harbaugh had
quarterback.
a quarterback.
And the coaching that we had held Kaepernick back. You got to remember. You remember who the coach of offensive coordinator was for that team? Greg
Wasn't like
Roman.
was
Greg
it
Roman.
Greg Roman.
Greg
Yeah,
Roman.
remember him? I know Lamar Jackson fans remember him.
Exactly.
Dog, come on, dog. Dog.
Limited,
Like
boy.
you
Limited. That's the
want me
limited, bro.
you want to hear me get angry? Let me talk about Greg Roman.
I'm weak.
Man.
But yeah, but no, I definitely I enjoyed the Jim Harbaugh years because Jim Harbaugh turned us around. But Kyle Shanahan had to do the same thing. He had to walk into a team that was terrible.
Tom
Like you got
Zula.
Could you say
Jim
Jim
Thompson.
Harbaugh's turnaround
Oh man, how did he get the job?
was
Still don't know.
better than Kyle Shanahan's turnaround?
No,
I would say no because Shanahan got the
no,
2
right,
Super Bowls.
right,
Just because he went
right.
to 2 Super Bowls?
No, the turnaround for Shanahan was different because before Shanahan, we had 4 coaches in 4 years, bro.
I'm gonna say you
Everybody
this:
when Harbaugh left, 33 players left.
if Kyle Shanahan, y'all go to Super Bowl, he loses, he's Marv Levy.
I just want to say that Lamar Jackson's a faggot.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, D,
Damn.
that is
Coming in
wild.
hot. Coming in hot.
Go
God
Birds.
damn,
The
Jack.
Tish
Yeah,
is still alive.
What
We
a
are
man
the
got
top.
one bussy
Gotta
out
run
of
through
nowhere.
us.
Why you got one
What
bussy
are
out of
you?
nowhere?
Porn
Reese,
star Jack?
stop
what are
trying
you-
to be a bad bitch podcaster and get your stupid ass in the gym so we can stop watching you miss your
What-
shots and get
what are
your
You
off
have
down.
OnlyFans, Jack? That's
Did you
insane.
walk in?
You
Did
been
you just
drinking that
walk in?
Uncle Shay again?
Doing?
I
You
hate Angel
promoted
Reese,
your
bro.
OnlyFans?
She's embarrassing and she's pissing me off. She wanna
Did you
be
just
over here.
join?
She wanna sit over here and have this goddamn rivalry, but she's too fucking stupid to actually work on her craft. All she wanna do is be a bad bitch podcaster and it's pissing me off. She's
Who is
stupid.
this?
This is insane work.
Dog, you just walked in firing like that?
Who are you speaking of?
Angel Reese.
Oh man, Angel Reese can't really play,
I
man.
did
Y'all
want to have that.
do
I did want to have
know
that
this, right?
But the
conversation.
thing is,
Why
Mike,
Hey,
do
she
we
last
have
could
to
couple
have this
play.
down.
She could
conversation,
play.
bro?
All she
We
got to do is
already
actually
know
focus
what
on
type
it
of
and
female
get off a
she is.
podcast trying to be a bad bitch.
We already
Yeah,
know what type of
she's like Michael
female
Parsons
she
to me.
is, bro.
He's a
We don't
No.
podcaster,
have this
Micah
bro.
Parsons.
conversation, bro.
Micah Parsons is an MVP candidate. She's not.
Well, no, the problem is that
No, Mike Tyson's a
we tried to
podcaster.
create Magic Bird when it was Magic and Rodman.
Come on now. Come on, dog.
Hey,
You
hey,
better
don't do
please.
Rodman like that.
This what
Rodman
You
happened.
actually
know, no,
got
actually,
rebounds for
man,
other
Social
people's
it,
misses.
media.
Bird
He tried
and
to let you try to
motherfucking
show off the. I'm a
John,
Bird
that's
John,
and
all good.
Draymond.
John Sally.
Nah, don't do Draymond
Y'all are
like that. He's a
hysterical.
champion.
Fuck Draymond.
Bird and John Sally.
Nah,
So-
she's Josh Smith.
So what I wanted to say,
Yeah,
what I
Don't
wanted to say about the
disrespect
Andrew
Josh
Reese
Smith
situation,
like that.
He is Josh Smith.
That's crazy.
what I wanted to
That's
say about the Andrew Reese situation is that two things can be true at once. This is very simple. Two things can be true at once. One, I can love black women, and I do very, 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 very,
I love
very
him. I
much.
embrace him.
And Angel Reese can have not been fouled hard against Caitlin Clark. Right? It like that was not a hard foul.
It was
There
not.
are angles.
I think it was the
there-
push.
No, there are angles where it looks like a nasty foul. When you see it from the front and you see what she actually did, it's not a hard foul. And in the NBA, it would not have been a flagrant foul.
I mean, either way, bro, she just needs to suck it up and play some fucking.
Well, I
ball.
had something to say and I was gonna make a comment, but I don't want Ryan Clark to come for me.
Well, fuck Ryan Clark right now. Say what you need to
Yeah,
say.
bro.
What's Ryan Clark on, yo?
No, look, I love
He's got to
RC.
save the hoe for real.
I
He
love
like
RC.
it.
No, he a
But at the end
two-side
of the
little
day,
bitch.
I don't like.
we
I
gotta
don't like.
let-
No, I
You know what?
I
You
think
know what
that
my problem with
Angel
RC is? Why are you arguing with RG3? He's lame as fuck. Who cares?
I think that
RG3
Angel
said he
Reese
coming
has
back,
done
bro.
and said some things that someone could deduce that she doesn't like Caitlin Clark. Whether it's true or not is a
And there's
whole
nothing wrong with that though. If she don't
No,
like
no,
it,
no,
doesn't-
I know,
she doesn't like
but
it,
I'm just
though.
saying whether it's true or not is a whole different issue. But Ryan Clark can't act as the thing that I had an issue with was Ryan Clark's framing of like it's like you're trying to make her sound like the angry black woman. Like, no, you introduced that.
literally, literally
Yeah.
though.
Honestly,
You
my
introduced that.
question would be
Because if
why
it was the
doesn't
other way
nobody
around,
hold-
people would have been calling Caitlyn a racist.
Of course.
Why does nobody hold Angel Reese to accountability of her actions?
I
of
just
how
told
she
you
is-
why.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? That's why I
I
don't
just
be
told you
wanna-
why. It's the same reason that somebody will shoot somebody and then dudes will walk down the street with a free Pookie shirt on.
Like, bro,
You
come
know
on,
what
bro.
I'm
Like,
Hey, my dad's
I
name was
Pookie is
Pookie,
crazy.
dog.
My bad. No disrespect.
She has the
Free
talent.
Pookie is
She
crazy.
has the
It really
game
was, but it's
to,
cool.
to really be special with the ball. But it's like she's so caught up into this fucking on-sub world that we live in.
No,
And
you
getting
know what I
fucking-
truly believe? You know what I truly believe? And I don't think Angel's necessarily wrong. I truly believe that she looks at this as I won the national title. This chick ain't won nothing. Y'all anointed her and turned me into the villain.
So be the villain.
But
Is that- is
Caleb
that-
been-
LSU win
If
the title
Taylor
here.
Clark would have pushed my
aren't
door,
built to be the villain.
my
Some
daughter
people
would have
are built
pushed her
to be the
back.
villain.
I
Like-
like the fact that Taylor Clark came into the league. She took the grunt from the vets, but her game has gotten better. She's playing better.
Right.
Andrew
right,
is not
bro.
playing better.
If the
That's
villain
if
could
I
play,
was
if
gonna be
the
basketball.
villain was playing
But
better,
I
it'd
would
be
say
different.
I
bro.
also think
Play
that
better.
I also
Push
think that
you,
not
push
everybody
her
can be, I also think that not everybody can be the villain because remember, LeBron tried to embrace being the villain when he went to Miami.
Yeah, he wasn't good at it. But again,
Yeah,
the reason why Magic and Bird worked because they both were fucking great. If Bird was trash, it would be like, oh, okay, if Magic couldn't play, then it wouldn't be anything.
but I,
That's
but I
the problem. It's like
But
it's not
Angel don't get it. She don't focus on the fact that she needs to start playing better. If she start
That's
playing
it.
better and honing in the
Just play
game,
better,
bro,
man.
then
she's
then
working on
it'd
it
be-
though. There's videos of her working, doing
Yeah,
the
Lisa
thing.
Leslie.
right, bro. But that's where we
Shout out
get.
Lisa
That's why
Leslie.
it be like we
Shout out
know
Lisa
it's
Leslie.
there, and I know she could do it, bro. But that's all she needs to be worried about. It's just
That's
balling,
it.
bro. You know what I'm
Caitlin
saying?
Clark
And
was found her role on that
But
team.
I think this is
Then
where
talk your
we
shit.
fail. Like, look, I'm gonna explain this right because none of y'all can give me grace, right? You know what I'm saying? But like with
Nobody.
Angel Reese,
None of y'all
but with
can give
Angel
me
Reese,
grace.
we gotta give her a little bit of grace. I mean, like we talk about these people as if they're 30 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like she was just in college 2 years ago.
True.
Still young.
You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
So that's something that she has to develop and mature into. You know what I mean? But it doesn't help that the media, any chance that they get when they play the Sky, or I mean when they play the
How
Fever,
long it'll be?
Right.
half of the questions they ask her are about Caitlin Clark.
Yeah,
Right,
and
not-
you guys
right,
come out
you're
and say,
not
yeah, I don't like
asking
Caitlin Clark.
No,
Right,
so I
you're
can
not
That's what she
understand
wants.
why.
She
I mean,
wants
to be asked
what is
about
she
Caitlin
like
Clark.
23? I could
Yeah,
understand.
possibly.
I could understand a 23-year-old not having the capability of saying no comment or like let's move on or
There's
whatever.
there's
Like
no guidance. There's no
I'm just
like,
saying
if
if
somebody
she
there.
got $80,000 to live in her stupid ass apartment, she can't afford a media trainer. She can't
I mean, not
like
even
she
that, bro.
can't use her brain to think.
Some of
You
the
know, she's
other
so
women in
busy
the
trying to be a
league
brand
take
ambassador
niggas under the
for
wing?
fucking Angel Reese Enterprises. She got a goddamn cereal logo and all this other
But
shit.
but we don't have a problem when men athletes do that.
Well, because
Nah,
that's
that's
where I
not
was about to
true.
start in.
That
Nope.
is true.
We
Nobody
was on
cared that
Shadur
Michael
Sanders'
Jordan was on the
ass for
Wheaties.
being an idiot.
No,
mean-
Mike, 2-5. You know that's one for me.
Me too,
When I feel like people care more about their brand than their game, that
bruh.
will always bother me. That is my issue with Caleb Williams. That's my issue with Shadur Sanders. That's my issue with a lot of people that like Michael
Debo
Parsons,
Samuel,
Paul George. All these guys. Nah, Debo Samuels
Brandon
don't care about
Ayuk.
Brandon Ayuk just was being stupid. But
Yeah, he had a dumb moment.
yeah, but like he's not doing brand deals. But that's my issue when I feel like somebody cares more about how they look publicly or how their brand aligns more than their game. That will always bother me, male or female. And Angel Reese absolutely falls into that category. And her and Flossie Johnson. That's the next one for me.
Yeah, you gonna be the next one. Gonna rap
But
out.
to
Who
Hill,
is who
she's
is
pretty
who is the
stupid.
who is y'all
What
remember
I'm saying,
the female
playing
NBA
golf,
player
playing
that said
basketball
something
and
about
shit. Like,
Angel
bro,
Reese
go get in the
and her
film room.
game?
Dog, don't play basketball.
Romo out there playing basketball. We got Romo at the
That's what I'm
U.S.
saying.
Open.
I just want y'all
Y'all
to know
remember
Romo
the
film, man.
Reese
I can't remember.
TV
Oh,
right
Asia
now
Wilson.
getting,
Asia
getting her
Wilson.
shit
Yeah,
stuff.
Asia Wilson.
You super low,
She
Lethal. I
said
can't
on the
hear nothing you're
podcast
saying.
was like, what up?
Like you're just
Y'all
really
can hear me
low.
now?
Oh, that was my fault, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can hear you better now.
What'd you say about
You can hear me
Asia?
now? Y'all remember when Asia Wilson was on this podcast and she was on Angel's podcast and she told us, she was like, bro, I want to get you in the gym, work on your package, your footworks and stuff like that, get you honed in your game. It's like you should for Angel, it's been like, bro, I'm about to be under your wing the whole time. Help me, guide me through, you know what I'm saying? Give me some mentorship, you know what I'm
she
saying?
doesn't want
Like
that.
that's the stuff that I would be expecting from her to do. So when she's not doing shit like that, and she's always just running her mouth and then trying to like, oh, why
Hey, Rez,
nobody
you just
want to
scared the
show
hell out
me
of me.
love? Caitlin Clark this, because Caitlin's still in the gym getting better with her game and
Yep.
still
Because
performing. It's
Caitlin
not
Clark
the
is
fact
worried
that
about being
she
a
not
great
making
NBA
it
player.
no big deal about it. She just performing, bro. If you
That's
perform,
it, bro.
I'ma
She
love you
performing, bro.
more. You know what I'm saying? But if
You give
you,
my respect.
I'ma always love you. But if you're not
Angel
gonna
led the league in
perform, bro,
rebounds as a rookie.
She did a good job rebounding,
Like
but she
why
got a
y'all just
four though.
focusing
She
on
leads the
scoring as if
league
there
in
aren't other
rebounds
parts of the
because she
game?
misses.
It
She
don't
misses.
matter. It don't matter. You still got to get the rebounds, and it's harder
I
to
mean,
get.
but yeah, but I want her.
It's
I
harder
just
to
want
get
her to
offensive rebounds than it is to get defensive
And I
Well,
rebounds.
want her to
2-5.
develop
again,
her
when they play
offensive
each other,
game. That's all.
you
I
don't
want her
play
to go
well.
get points. I want her to go
2-5, I
make a
feel like you got
statement.
the cape on for Angel Reese.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
don't.
got a
I'm not.
cape on.
Well, I mean, no, because I mean, I don't particularly like either one of them. You know what I'm saying? And I think that like RG3 is. I think the message was more correct, but it was easy to attack the low hanging fruit.
Yeah, it's always
Yeah, it
yeah.
was.
I'm
You
gonna
know,
be
Do you
y'all
honest.
love
think
white
I
women.
have no idea. What
But I'm trying to be fair. We can't be all up in here shitting on
2-5?
everybody. We got to have
Do you think?
disagreement.
I don't
Do
even
you
know what
think?
RG3 said.
Okay, 2-5. What do you think? Let me ask you this: you watched a little bit of women's basketball? I'm pretty sure you didn't watch a ton of it. But do you think Angel Reese's game is better than it was when she was in college?
I can't say
I
that
don't
it
think
is.
so. I don't think
And
so. I think
I
it
watched
hasn't.
her in
I
college.
think
Her
I
game
think
is
the
not better
fact
than it
that
was when she was in
I
college.
can't say that it is.
I watched her game the other
To
day.
your
But
point
that's
though,
the point.
I've seen her working though. Some people just can't shoot. You could work all you
Yeah.
want.
bro.
Some people just can't shoot.
Yeah, but she's good.
She's
I
like
don't
Tristan
know,
Thompson.
bro.
If you're
She's
comparing
actually
yourself
good.
to somebody at that level, you should be improving your game. We should
Yeah,
there
she's
should be a
not magic.
noticeable change. It should be a
Definitely.
noticeable change.
Definitely.
Yeah, bro.
But the season
The
just
fact that
started
she
too. Like
sit
we're
here
like
the
3
fact that
games
she
into
sit
the
here and
season.
say
True.
the fact that she sit here and say, oh, she won a natty and da. All right, bro. You could go work. Go
But
go
like
do
I
Caitlin
said, I
Clark,
think that's the
Caitlin
genesis.
Clark
But like I
is
said,
gonna
I
be
think
an
that's the
MVP
genesis of the
candidate
problem
this year.
because when people are talking about stuff, we don't never like people in general. We don't tend to address what we're being attacked on. We say, "What about?" So,
Yeah.
so like this whole thing
Yeah.
started because Caitlin Clark went up in old girl's face for South Carolina, and did the thing. So then
Did
Angel
it right.
came back and did the ring. That's where it all started.
Facts.
You know
Where it
what I mean?
started.
So
This is true.
then as you move on, the WNBA is a business, and they're like, how can we get people to care about us? Rap
Oh
beef.
yeah.
Right.
You know what
I
I'm
feel
saying?
it. I feel it. I mean, I feel it.
So then when they played last year, Angel kept making these comments about like, yeah, it's about more than one player. It's about and that's where like I think somebody like RG3, that's where you can start to kind of put together like, she really don't like this girl.
No, but
And what's wrong with that?
she wasn't wrong. But she wasn't wrong when she made that statement though. When she was
She
making
wasn't
that
wrong.
statement,
100%.
She
you were
wasn't
absolutely
wrong,
right.
but
She was saying,
she could have gave the message out in a different form where it's something where people could look back and try to attack it.
He also
Like she could have just been like, "Yo, check me out."
He also
Like the league is on fire right now. Check me out next year.
You know what I'm saying? Just right. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not
That-
like
look,
she had to. I'm not saying she
But
deliberately
the
jumped
problem
into
is,
it,
but
but
the problem is that we'll sit up here and have these conversations like this, and we range between 30 and 40. You know what I'm saying? Like
right, 'cause she young, yeah, she got to
talking
go
to
through the
people in her
yeah, you
age
gotta go
group
through
that
your
are like,
stuff, right?
oh,
You gotta
they
watch them
hating.
grow.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? They got that white
Yeah,
bitch on
like
your side. Like,
right.
whatever
Yeah,
it might
facts.
be.
Facts,
You know what I'm
facts.
saying?
I agree.
And
I
that's
totally
the big
agree.
part about it is that I think the biggest part of it is that Caitlyn is white because you know what I'm saying? Like we seen Cheryl Swoops get on Gilbert Arenas show and just shit on Caitlyn for no reason at
For no
all.
reason at all. Like, bro, she's not terrible. If you
And that's
watch
the
the
thing.
game,
Hold on. Now,
she
why
can
you say that, Mike? Now, why you say that? That's the same thing that I be saying to y'all about Jokic.
But see,
I've
I,
never
the
almost
thing
like
about
black people get
Caitlyn though,
offended
I
that a
say
white person
Jokic
can
when
do
can't
that
she
play.
got
basketball.
it, when Caitlyn got
He's
into
not
the
playing
league,
with nobody.
when Caitlyn came in, they was bullying Caitlyn. They was, you know what I'm saying, beating her up and stuff. She ain't never like, you know what I'm saying,
Bitch up.
made it about her or nothing. She just kept, you know what I'm saying, kept her head down, do what she do. And that's why, and develop more on her game. And that's why I respect the fact that
She got
I
stronger.
look at it from
She's a better rebounder now.
From Angel's side, I'd be like, bro, if you just do what she do, just work on your game, bro.
Yeah.
The talking, you can do the
Like I said,
talking
though, I
later,
also
bro.
think that we're only 2 or 3 games into the season too. So I think we don't know, like we don't know.
Yeah,
what
we
she-
ain't see, we don't, yeah, fact, for sure.
I'm not saying that she won't get better. I'm saying when they play against each other, she's not riding to the occasion. That's the problem. She has to play better when they're playing against each other. Then she had the bullshit injury last year where she's out for the whole year.
Facts. I mean, yeah. So I like it's just a development thing. Like it's just watching them grow up. You know what I'm saying? Same way niggas look at back in the day where everybody was like, we watched Kobe grow up before our eyes. You know what I'm saying? He growing to where it
Think
was.
about
It's the
it like
same
this,
thing.
though. Take somebody like Tyrese Halliburton, right? He's been getting better his whole career.
And
Agreed.
everybody's
We're just now
overrated.
seeing it on that level, though. So, like, even though he was getting better, he wasn't getting the credit for it as he was ascending. He's getting the credit for it mostly now because he did it to the Knicks.
And then that's what the overrated stuff keep coming out of the
Right.
whole with Tyrese. You know what I'm saying?
No,
And
it's
it's just like,
But sometimes it just seems like a lot of black people get offended that a white person could be good at basketball.
Yeah.
well,
You know why?
no, but
I mean, because we was
That's why last year.
offended when we couldn't get a black man at the quarterback for.
How you think white people feel about Serena Williams? They're like, this is our shit. What the fuck are they doing over here?
But that's the point that I'm making, though. We don't have to act like them.
Well, I don't.
We can't
don't.
talk shit about how bad they are and how evil they are, and then turn into them.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Caitlin
like,
Clark is on pace. Caitlin Clark is on pace to have a triple-double tonight.
It's hard for the culture to embrace Caitlin Clark for just being good at basketball more than it is.
If
She's on
Caitlin
pace to have
Clark
a
had beat
triple-double
South
right now.
Carolina, if Caitlin Clark had beat South Carolina without doing that to that girl, she'd be viewed completely differently.
Agreed.
But
No.
but if it was
But
the
if
other way
Angel
around,
if
it was
Angel
the
Reese don't do the
if it was the other way around and the South Carolina girls had done that to Caitlin and beat Caitlin, the same people that had a problem with Caitlin wouldn't have had a thing to say.
Agreed. Agreed. But that's how society
But
works.
you
man.
do know that
You call
Angel
that
Reese wanted to
politicking.
be the villain. She accepted it, remember?
Niggas
No,
be
she
fucking
wanted to
with
be. She wanted to be the villain. She was
I don't think
Bayou
she wanted
Barbie.
to be. I think she said that she wanted to be because she was the villain. I don't think
Caitlyn?
she
With
woke up No, Angel. I don't think Angel woke
Oh.
up one day and was like, I want to be the villain. I think it was immaturity of y'all gonna make me the bad guy. I'm gonna be the bad guy.
But you gotta wear
Oh
it
yeah,
though.
no, it was that. It was that for
You gotta
sure.
wear it.
It was that.
People don't understand. Look, I'm not mean to bring up MJ, but people knew MJ was the bad guy. They knew MJ would
Mm.
talk shit to you. Don't talk to that nigga. But again, that's how life is. People look at me
Yeah.
like I'm not saying I'm MJ. I'm just saying you have to walk in
You are
those. You
MJ,
can't
bro.
bitch
You are
up.
MJ, bro.
You can't bitch up when it's time to perform.
So how
Yeah, no,
how do we?
One of my coworkers and I said, look, I get chastised because how great I am. I can be 5 minutes late. They'll say, look, he was 5 minutes late today. You know what I'm saying? Because I expect greatness from myself and expect to be perfect in my own right. That's how I carry myself. So if you do anything outside of those things, you're gonna be chastised more than the person that's average.
Right.
right.
It's
So does Angel Reese turn into like 5 years later, 5 years from now? Does Angel Reese become playoff Pete, become podcast Paul George, and Clayton Clark is the Steph Curry?
could be.
I think they already are those things.
That's a trajectory.
You know what
Because
I'm
You know
saying?
what I
Like
think?
based off of
You know what I think?
how things are going out.
And,
That's
and look
like
at how he turned out to be. We thought Indiana, he was the next guy up. He was the guy who was gonna rival against LeBron. And look what happened to him.
He got hurt.
Y'all know
He
what I
got
think?
worse and worse and
Y'all know what I
worse.
think? You know what I think the biggest issue is? The biggest issue is the fact that people started comparing Angel Reese to Caitlin Clark at all.
Me
they
too.
play two totally different
They
positions.
they play two completely different games. They play two completely different games. The fact but Angel Reese keeps trying to put herself in the picture with
That
Caitlin.
category. Agreed. She's not in that
If you would
category.
just stop doing that, so I'm gonna go back to your because you mentioned Tyrese Halliburton, right?
Yeah.
Imagine if Tyrese Halliburton every time he got a chance tried to put himself in a category with LeBron. We'd be comparing him to LeBron. We're like,
Nah, Reg,
dude,
you
you're
ain't even
not
gotta go
LeBron.
that far
Stop. What are you doing?
You ain't gotta
Stop.
go that far up.
Look at Trae Young.
Stop. He just worked on
You know
his
what I'm saying?
game, bro.
Trey
He
got
just
you
got better.
wiped down. Jalen got you wiped down.
And we're not and we don't watch Indiana Pacer basketball. So yes, he has been improving. We just don't pay attention to it. Angel Reese has made herself into a marquee player without having to actually accomplish anything.
Yeah, she's
Oh, hey,
overachieved.
real quick. Hey, Lethal. So I said, give me OKC in the 8.5.
What's the score?
OKC up at 8 at the half.
A week.
we working to it.
Awesome.
We working to it. But
feel that.
no, you're absolutely right, Rez. And I think
Is that game on Max right now?
But I think, huh?
Is that game showing on Max?
I don't know. I'm watching it on my phone. But that's the thing is that Bomani talks about this all the time. Like, the WNBA wants to grow, but y'all don't want us there.
Oh no, y'all want them in there.
But that's what comes with the attention. Like,
No,
when
I
you
know.
get the attention, it's not just the good stuff. It's the
I
bad
know.
stuff too.
Yeah, we gotta talk about it. We have
The
to.
WNBA was unprepared to deal with it.
Well,
Oh, okay.
well, I wouldn't say. I'd just say they just won't prepare to know for it to be to think that it could get to where it is now, and the fact that talent is actually starting to come into the league. People are paying attention a little more to the WNBA because what's it bringing? Like, be all, we wouldn't be talking about the WNBA as much without Caitlin and without Angel.
Correct.
Period. You know what I'm saying? So she does play a big involvement in helping build the league. How she is going about it though, and not realize because she's young, you know what I'm saying? She probably doesn't have the same type of people in her ear as Caitlin might do. You know what I'm saying? So her mindset is not like, oh, let me take advantage of this in a good way. It's more of, I got so much shit going on. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm just in the media to worry about me. You know what I'm saying? So it's portrayed different. But I give them some time, bro. I'll give them like 5 years of figure it out and see where we at then. But they are a reason why the WNBA is going to expand.
And the other problem is our 24-hour media cycle because you just keep seeing it all day in a loop over and over.
100%. Well, I look at Vegas first game. Like she went out and balled. Yeah, so it's like you got different.
You said Plum, bro. Plum
Peyton
kid, man.
Beckett.
She put up with like 30 something, bro. Like,
Peyton.
bro. It's more reasons to like us for niggas that spotlight the WNBA.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro,
But you
I
want them to
fucks
talk
with
about
it.
basketball. Like you want like if you but
Right,
that's the thing. Like it doesn't help them for people to be talking about the fact that Angel Reese has more podcast episodes than points. Like that's not a good
right.
thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not what when you're talking about building the game out. That's not the stuff that you want people saying. You want them talking about Kelsey Plum. You want them talking about people working hard on the court. You want them talking about how
Right.
exciting these upcoming players are. You don't want them talking about it's just like when people are like, oh, yeah, they talking about the NBA, but they were talking about the fact that people in the NBA were getting arrested at a very high level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they on
Like
top, but
just
even what they be saying in the league, like we'll talk shit about players and their stats and stuff, but at least with the NBA, niggas get a chance to actually go perform. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Do their job. You know what I'm saying? Where they shut us up for the day, be like, look, bro, you know what I'm saying? Fuck what y'all talk about. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I'm
you
in.
ain't even watching the game. I'm not watching the game to see if she gonna clothesline somebody tonight. Like that ain't something
I want to
I'm
watch
gonna
to
do
see
the
Angel,
if
rest of
Angel
you
Reese
go
right
ball
now
out. If you go put up
has
20 and 20, you go put up 35. You go get down in the paint. You go shoot. That's what I want to watch.
Angel Reese right now has 2 points and 11 rebounds.
Yeah, see,
yeah,
if she was scoring
yeah.
more
No.
and putting together an offensive
Getting
bag,
obliterated
she'd be
by
fine, bro.
obliterated, dog. And Brianna Stewart ain't really played that much in this game.
Oh, I
That's
got one for you too, File. Just thought about this. 4 divisions this year. 4 division have 3 teams with 10 wins.
This is a wild pivot.
wild pivot.
I don't even
This
know
is
if
a
that's
very
possible.
this is a very wild pivot.
I got to do some math. I don't even know if that's possible.
Three. My bad. Three. I hit my high mark. 3.
So 3 divisions with teams that win 10 games.
With all 3 teams, just like how we had Lions, Vikings, and Packers.
NFC East.
I already got the NFC South.
AFC West.
You got the West winning. All 3 teams winning 10. Ooh.
That's it.
On a
Like
wild pivot.
maybe the North. AFC
My
North.
God, was
Maybe?
like
Give me the NFC South.
when you watch The Little Mermaid,
The NFC South.
Yeah, bro.
The Panthers
Atlanta,
winning 10 games, bro.
9 games is gonna win the
Panthers,
NFC South this year. Huh?
Atlanta, Falcons, Bucks, and Panthers will have 10 wins this year, bro. At least.
You said the Panthers gonna have 10 wins? All right,
Yes,
show me
bro.
that on the schedule. Go for it. Show me run that down on the schedule.
All right, let me pull
I'm
up
not
their
looking at the
schedule.
Run that
schedule.
down.
Hold up. Let's pull
Show
up
me
the
the 10
schedule.
wins on their schedule, bro. Because
Bro,
you
I think
saying
niggas,
stuff.
I think
All right,
people
no,
are
you gonna call it
sleeping.
out. Show me the 10 wins.
I'm thinking people
All
are
right, here we
sleeping
go. Hold
on.
up. Let's do this real quick, Lethal.
All right.
Are you ready?
Mm.
All right, here we go. At Jacksonville.
0-1.
Dub.
At Arizona.
1-1.
See, I think that could be a loss just off of the travel.
Oh,
No,
I
I'm
don't think so.
gonna give
But
that one because Kyler gonna run around and
I think Bryce is gonna be like how Patrick Mahomes is in the September spree.
Oh my God.
Okay. So then at home against Atlanta.
1-2. Dub. My big game. But it's the first dub.
Didn't they beat Atlanta last year?
They did.
They're gonna split again.
At New England.
Loss.
2-2. I got to beat
Miami at home.
2-3.
I got them a dub for that.
Dallas at home.
Loss.
2-4.
We own the Panthers.
They go to Jersey to play the Jets.
3-2. 3-4. 3-4.
Give me a loss for the Jets. Give me a loss for the Jets.
All right, home against Buffalo.
Give me a dub. Give me an upset.
3-5. Oh my God.
Upset against Buffalo?
Hold on. You got them beating the Jets and you got them losing to the Jets and oh, come on, man.
But y'all be
this.
seeing here. Y'all sleeping on what we about to witness this year. Okay.
All right, hold on. Here we go. Let's get down the rest of
Is
this.
the awful back?
All right.
Where we at? Where I'm at? I'm at. What's my record right now? Where we at?
I got them 3-5 so far.
Okay. So that was Buffalo, the last one, right?
Right.
Okay. So then they go to Lambeau.
3-6.
That's a dub.
I mean, what does Green Bay gonna look like though? We don't
Bryce
know.
Young is better than Jordan Love.
We don't know what Green Bay gonna look like. We don't know.
Home for the Saints.
4 and
Yeah,
6.
it might be a Cowboy.
That's a dub.
At Atlanta.
5 and
That's
6.
a L. That's a L. They gonna lose that one.
Monday Night Football at San Francisco.
That's a super dub. A super L.
5 and 7.
The super L.
All right. Then they get the Rams at home.
5 and 8.
No, they lose against San Fran, but they beat San Fran, but they lose to the Rams.
You got the Panthers beating San Fran.
Yeah, bro.
God.
All right. So then after the Rams, they get their bye week.
All right. Well,
They might
what's
lose
the
that one, too.
record? What's the record now? What's my record now?
Let's see. That was 13 games that we did.
Oh man.
And I only got what?
I think Rez got them 5 and 8.
On us all.
And I'm 8-4.
Okay. Then we got at the Saints.
That's another dub.
The dub.
Home
They gonna
for
sweep the
Tampa.
Saints.
Home
6 and
for
8.
Tampa.
They gonna split with
6 and
Tampa.
9.
Home for Seattle.
6 and 10.
Hey, I think
They
Lethal
gonna
was
lose to
lost,
Seattle.
And
They
then
already got
close-
10. They already got the 10 wins out of that.
And
Before they get to
then they
Seattle.
close at Tampa.
And then, like I said, they
6
gonna
and
split with
11.
Tampa. They gonna
7
win
and
the
10.
first one and lose the second one.
Wow.
7 and 10.
You
And they're
getting
7
in
and
on
10.
this, Cups?
Hey, can you, hey, 2-5. Can you just run through those teams that he had him beating, please? Please go through the teams he had him
You
beating.
only saying that because I put San Fran in there.
No, I was saying before you said that.
You
You said
said that they were going to lose to the Jets and then beat Buffalo.
Right, bro.
Then they were
Y'all
going
don't-
to
y'all
go
don't
to Lambeau.
Damn.
And
They had Philly on the brinks last year, bro. They had the Chiefs on the brinks last year, bro.
Then you said,
Stop
hold up.
sleeping
Then you
on
said they
Bryce
was going to go to
Young
Lambeau
and
and
the
win
fighting
because Bryce
cats.
Young is better than Jordan Love.
He is,
Yes.
bro.
yes.
He
might be
is.
better
Bryce
than
Young is better than Jordan Love, bro.
I don't trust Jordan Love at all, bro.
Then you said they were going to
I trust Bryce Young
win at
less.
San Francisco on Monday Night Football.
This is another
Bryce played
upset,
better
bro.
last
Like they
year,
gonna
man.
upset the Bills. Stop sleeping on this man, Bryce Young, bro.
The problem, bro, is that you have them beating teams that we all believe are going to be pretty good, and you have them
That's
losing the teams we all
okay,
think will be
bro.
pretty bad.
I think Bryce Young's mama ain't betting on them to beat the Bills.
That's the point. That's the point of the NFL season, bro. That's the point of Sunday football, bro. Anybody can get fucking beat. So don't
Anybody
sit
can
here.
get beat.
You're absolutely correct. You're
Anybody
absolutely
can
correct.
get beat.
Right. So I'm not gonna sit
wait.
here and
You're
act like
absolutely correct, Lethal. But what are the chances that they beat Buffalo and win at Green Bay and San Francisco?
just like what we thought the chances was that y'all was gonna be in the NFC Championship game, just like what the chances
I
was that
believe
we
it.
saw the Lions, the Vikings, and the Packers still pulling off 10-win seasons in a division.
I believe, even though y'all did get the regular season right, I think I was the one that picked us to beat Detroit. I don't think the rest of y'all picked that.
No, I'm just saying though. I'm just saying in
I think I
general.
picked y'all. I think I
It's just
picked y'all
like
Detroit. I think I
we
did.
it's times where we don't expect shit in the league, bro, in the season, bro. We're gonna unexpect the unexpected. And this year, bro, we can't sleep on none of these teams that y'all think are bottom
All right.
feed The teams that we know that bottoms is the Saints.
How about this, Lethal? All right, how about this, Lethal? Give me another team that you think is going to win 10 games that you think the rest of us won't agree with you on.
Naptown.
All right, let's look at the Colts schedule.
The team that he told us going to win. The team that he told us going to win 14 games last year.
Downtown.
All right,
The
let's
team
go.
that he told
Y'all.
us was going to
All
win
right.
14 games last year.
All right, you ready, Mike? Y'all ready for the Colts?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Open at home with Miami.
Dub.
I don't know.
Home against Denver.
Toss up for me.
Dub. Get the payback.
All right, so Lethal got him 2-0 with Miami and
I
Denver.
might got a 1-1. 1-1.
Okay. At Tennessee.
Dub.
That's a dub.
Stop playing with me, bro.
It's a dub.
At the Rams.
That's an L.
It's probably L.
Raiders at home.
That's a dub.
Cardinals at home.
Dub.
Dub.
At the
So,
Chargers.
wait. Can we pause real quick? I just want to
Yeah.
point out that he thinks that the Colts are going to lose to the Rams, but the Rams will beat
Because we're going on the
Rams will
road.
lose to
We're
the
going on the
Panthers.
road. Because we're going on the road. Because we're going
All
on the
right.
road to LA.
Okay. So
All
I
right.
make sure I point that out. All right.
All right, at the Chargers.
Dub. Dub.
At the Chargers, though.
We
I
don't
don't
lose
think,
twice. We're not losing twice in LA.
man,
That's
dog.
what we, bro.
You know Harbaugh, bro. They gonna shorten that game when y'all.
We're not losing twice in LA,
Y'all
bro.
put no points up against them.
All right, hosting Tennessee.
Dub. We sweeping the Titans. I don't know what y'all talking about.
I think so.
Pittsburgh.
Dub.
Sunday Night Football at home against Atlanta.
Did y'all
Dub.
beat Pittsburgh last year?
Yes, we have the edge on Pittsburgh right now, bro.
All right.
Interesting.
So after Atlanta, there's the bye week, right?
Yep. Then we come
All
and play KC, baby.
Yep, at Arrowhead.
Dub.
Smoke.
Y'all already know what it is. Stop playing with me.
Big L.
Then they go to Houston. I mean, they play Houston at home.
Another dub.
They go to the place they haven't won since 2014.
And I ain't gonna
Super
wail
L.
to you. This
Super L.
This gonna be the first time
This is the
AR
year. This is the
plays
year, y'all.
in Jacksonville, his hometown. So that's
Okay.
a dub.
Okay,
But
okay.
then-
I like it.
So
I
then,
like it.
so this is the fun part. So then after they go to the place they haven't won since 2014, they go to Seattle the next week.
And I'm okay with taking that L.
Okay.
I'm okay with it.
But wait, this is where it gets fun.
All right,
they
no,
go
bro.
to
I
Seattle.
know my schedule. I know my schedule.
I know you do. Come back home for the 49ers.
Oh,
And we're gonna take
Lovely.
that dub on prime time.
Monday Night
We already
Football.
Come on now. We beat San Fran prime time before. We'll do it again.
Yeah, like 15 years ago.
2021 JT season, Carson Wentz, Michael Pitt. More.
Then
Anyways.
they get Jacksonville at home,
Dub.
and then close at Houston.
And we'll split that just because we'll give Houston.
yeah. I
something to talk
got the Colts getting. I got the Colts winning the division, so I got them winning 10 games.
Yo,
Come on
my
now,
man
baby.
said we beat them one time before, so we can do it this time too. Yo, this is crazy, y'all.
Man is
The
confident.
Chiefs haven't beaten us in some shit now. We've been beating the Chiefs every time we play them now. I'm confident we're gonna beat them. Coming off our bye week.
They did beat them 2 years ago, bro.
Oh yeah.
Lethal, I'm gonna tell you, bro, because I love you, bro. Like I promise you, the only reason I listen to you talking to you, my friend.
All right, so I said this last year, and I don't want to repeat myself, but I gotta say, first glance, I think I got 8 and 9.
Okay.
Off the first glance.
Yeah, off the first glance.
I got
just think
that.
Tyler Warren gonna make them better,
bro. That's
Well,
and their defense though.
No, I think Miami's a toss-up.
Yeah, me too.
I think they lose to
Definitely a
Denver. I think they lose at the Rams and at the Chargers.
So I mean, so let me ask you this: if they're at 8 and 9, like if they're playing at that, then you don't see Danny Jones.
No, bro. Let me tell you something, bro. I'll fill y'all in. The first 4 games is all about our defense.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's
Literally all about our defense. First 4 games. The next stretch of 4 games is going to be about our offense and can our offense outscore the Raiders, the Chargers, the Cardinals. Our defense is going to start the week off of shutting down Tua and Jalen Waddle and Broncos with Bo Nix and his weapons. It's going to play out just like that. So by the time
that y'all can hold up against Bo Nix's offense, I'm concerned about the defense.
I'm not concerned about I'm actually more pumped this year for my defense than I am for my offense. I think my defense is actually going to be a real defense.
But that's because you know that your offense is limited.
No, bro, my offense is so deadly this year, bro. It don't make no goddamn sense. Okay, I'm trying to tell y'all something this year.
Look, man, I'm trying to tell you. Look, I love Jonathan Taylor, right? And I think Josh Downs is going to have a breakout year. Provided he stay healthy. I love Tyler Warren, but there's still some blanks in there.
Bro, everything has been on the trajectory of up.
Okay. All right, let me ask you this.
Where Cubs go?
I got the best tabs on that time, bro.
Let me ask you this, Lethal. Is the Bears one of your 10-win teams?
I'm not sold yet, bro.
Okay.
I'm not sold yet. I'm
All
not.
Right, what's the other division you got the 10 wins coming from? The 3 10-win teams. What's the third division?
North.
To be honest with y'all, it's kind of cliche with it, but the North is going to produce a whole 10 win. I thought about the West being one at first, but
So the
I can't
usual
see
Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Baltimore.
yeah.
All right,
But I think it's going. I think based off of because Baltimore won the division last year.
So should
I
we
think
look
they're
at
going.
should we look
They're
at
gonna have a new
Pittsburgh or
one.
Cincinnati? Which one should we look at?
I go
Pittsburgh's
Cincinnati.
not getting 10
All right,
wins.
let's
I
go
get
Cincinnati. Let's go Cincinnati.
Pittsburgh will not get 10 wins.
All right, here we go. You ready? Oh, Cincinnati might get 10.
Pittsburgh will not get 10 wins.
All right, hold on. We'll do Pittsburgh. All right, so we'll do Cincinnati first. Okay, so at Cleveland.
I give them a dub.
Home
They got to
against
start. I feel like they're
Jacksonville.
gonna start hot this year.
Home against Jacksonville.
Dub.
At Minnesota.
Dub.
At Denver.
Dub. 4-0.
And that one's Monday Night Football.
Yeah, that's a dub.
And then they played Detroit. Oh no, hold up. Wait. We got to back this up. Hold up. All right, y'all paying attention, right? So, all right. So at Denver for Monday Night Football, right?
And I got them at 4-0 right now.
Home for Detroit.
I'll give them an L because of Detroit.
At Lambeau.
Dub.
Home for Pittsburgh.
Dub.
Home for the Jets.
That's a dub.
Home for Chicago.
That's a dub.
Bye week.
Okay.
At Pittsburgh.
Wait, what team is this?
The
Cincy.
Bengals.
He's telling us that the Cincinnati's going to be defeated.
At Pittsburgh.
They'll take an L. They'll take an L.
Home against New England.
That's a dub.
All right. You ready for this one, Riz?
We'll go for it.
At Baltimore and at Buffalo back to back.
Oh, that's 2
Nah,
And
bro.
hold up. And after the Buffalo game, at home against Baltimore.
Here it is. I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you that breakdown.
Oh well, one of those Baltimore games
They get the dub against Buffalo. They take the first L to Baltimore, but they pick up the win at home.
Okay, so at Miami,
A dub.
and that's Sunday Night Football, and then they close with Arizona and Cleveland at home.
Dub. Since he can easily win 10, 12 games over.
How about 16 wins, y'all?
I think I'm looking at 9 and 8 again. Because that defense ain't going to be no better. So they're going to.
But they can. I feel like they can outscore their who.
Yeah, they
playing.
did that last year too.
Cincinnati was a better team last season, y'all.
I think that.
You think Cincy last year is better than Cincy this year?
When you have a defense that bad, you open yourself to lose the teams that you shouldn't.
Yes.
But I feel like they'll score enough points where it's still out of reach. I feel like as long as they can keep at least a 2-score lead as the margin, I think they'll be fine, bro.
As long as they keep a 2-lead score, you got to stop people to get the 2-lead score.
Dude,
I think they're gonna keep scoring though. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like if you can stay in the 2-score range with them, you have a chance.
So
But I feel like they just gonna be
They're
scoring.
going to average 44 points a game.
that's a crazy strategy.
They really could do it though, bro. I mean, they really could.
All right,
I can just see them in the huddle. Like, hey, y'all, what's the game plan?
I mean,
We just
think
gotta
about
stay
it though,
2
bro.
scores ahead of the other team, y'all. That's the
But y'all
game
gotta
plan.
think. But think about the last 4 or 5 games of the season, bro. They were putting up points, bro.
All right, let's get to Pittsburgh so I can go to the gym. Here we go.
All right.
So
You going to Planet Fitness?
No, I go to Snap Fitness.
Nah.
You know
What you
I'm
working today? What you working?
saying? Just cardio today.
Oh, nice.
Man, go to Busch Garden if you want to work on your cardio.
Man, 2-5 really don't rock with Jack, man. I'm in the gym every day. He don't hit me.
Dang.
Supposed to go to lunch.
I just
Damn,
got
bro.
back in town.
He got an extendo. He got the
Pause.
extension. To
Oh no,
stay in
yeah,
San
you supposed to
Antonio
give him
longer.
the bypass.
He said,
He
"Man,
was on
fuck Jack."
vacation.
Yeah, I was just out of town. You know what I'm saying? All right, here's
Oh, okay.
Here's
okay.
Pittsburgh. So at the Jets,
L.
Justin Field revenge game.
I'm sorry, I
that's-
can't shit on
oh,
Green
that
Bay.
sounds so crazy.
It does, don't it?
Justin Fields revenge
That
It
is-
is,
game.
bro. It's a
He doesn't
lot of
even have to-
revenge
how's he
games
earned
this
that?
year, bro. It's a lot of revenge games
Yo,
this year.
Lethal got everybody winning 17 games.
All right, here we
Man.
go. So home
No, I
against
got the Steelers
Seattle.
starting out 0-6.
Home against Seattle.
0-6. I'm already telling y'all. I got them starting
You
0-6.
can't have them 0-6. You just said that 3.
And then you can,
they're
and then
gonna
they can win 10,
games.
and then they win their last 10. You can do
They
that.
gonna win their last 11.
Yeah, you can do that. They can
Yo,
go. They
yeah.
can go 0-6.
All right,
Yeah.
hold on. Let's do this the right way. So
Yo, that's crazy.
at the
is
Jets,
crazy.
hosting Seattle.
This man.
I'm trying to
is-
tell y'all, bro. I got them starting 0-6, bro. I'm dead ass.
Pittsburgh loses to the Jets. They lose to
At
Seattle.
New England.
This man is telling the tallest of tales.
0-3. They lose to New
that's a
England. Drake
dub.
May sweep.
All right.
Oh,
Sunday
we
night
not doing
football.
nothing
No,
factual
this
tonight.
is
Yo, did
overseas.
Jack go to sleep? I mean, did the Cubs go to sleep?
I don't know.
No, he told me let y'all
Nah, he's still
let
up.
y'all know when we swerve so he can shut it off.
Oh,
So they-
shit.
So they,
Cubs
then
is sick of y'all, man.
they play overseas against Minnesota.
L.
That's an
All
L.
right. Bye week. Then they come back for Cleveland.
They had a bye week on the 4th week.
Week 5. Yeah.
Oh, that's way too early for a bye
That's
week.
insane. That's why I said they 0-6. I'm
All
sorry.
right.
Hey, we had a bye week.
So they got Cleveland in week 6. You know, maybe
Yeah, that's
Shador will be
trash.
starting by then. Then they go to Cincinnati for Thursday night football.
Why you playing? Shador might start week 1.
Home against Green Bay. Home against
Yeah.
Indy.
Damn, that's like 0-8 right there.
Hey, you on the remote, man?
At the Chargers.
You on the remote?
Oh, they'll finally get a win. They'll
Wait,
finally get a
hold
win.
up.
I'll give them that.
Wait, Pittsburgh's supposed to lose. Pittsburgh's supposed to lose to Indianapolis.
First of all, Jack, let me put you on game real quick. Okay. Since Shane Steichen has coached us, since he has took the helm, we are 2-0 against the Steelers. We will be 3-0 this year when we play them again. Okay. We used to get our ass whooped by the Steelers all the time.
Hey, hold up, lethal, hold up. You cannot use like.
And we just beat
got
them
a
last
record
year.
against
We
these
just
niggas
beat them
when
last
it's less
year.
than
We
4
just
games.
beat them last year.
2-0.
Yes, bro.
Yo,
That's
Lethal be
that's-
like, Lethal be
yes,
like
bro.
in 1995, we beat this team. So in
It's
2025,
my I'm going into my 3rd year with my
as
new
Oracle?
head coach, and his
Oh, all right.
3-year tender. When we match up
Okay,
against the
all right,
Steelers,
Lethal,
we are
Lethal.
2-0, going on 3-0 after getting our asses whooped by the
Hold on,
Steelers.
what are you predicting? What are you predicting that the Indianapolis Colts are doing this season? Like, what is y'all's record at the end of the season?
First of all, we're going to win our division. So winning our division will probably end up being 12-4 at bet.
12-5.
12, actually 13.
And,
13.
and
13
Anthony
and 4.
Richards is doing this
No,
for
y'all was
y'all?
I said that last. I said
year.
that. I said that last.
15
Yeah, no, I
wins.
said it last year. I said it last year. But I wasn't expecting the debacle that took place that we had.
Wait, so is it Anthony Richards' team or is it the other boys' team?
You know what I'm saying? This is an AR team, bro. I'm tired of everybody talking about Daniel. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching this man throw. His throwing motion is why I see.
Who the other nigga that came in there?
Huh?
Babe, you sitting on the remote.
Who's the other dude that's supposed to be on Indianapolis? I can't remember his name right
What
now.
you talking about, bro?
You on the remote?
The quarterback.
Well, we got AR, Daniel
Daniel
Jones,
Jones?
and Riley Leonard, and Josh Bean. Shout out to Josh Bean.
Yeah, Danny Dimes.
Fuck
Danny Dimes.
fuck
That's
Indiana
what it is.
Jones,
Yeah.
bro.
So Danny Dimes.
He not
see?
gonna
So
be
Danny
starting,
Dimes
bro.
is gonna beat
See,
out
that's a
Anthony
t-shirt that
Richardson
sells itself right there.
after
Indiana
y'all go
Jones.
0-3.
Bro, he's not gonna be starting.
actually
And
hard.
everybody be talking about,
That's super
AR got to
hard.
play a full 17. He would have played damn near full at least 16 if he didn't get benched for 2. He didn't come out for injury until the New York Jets. I mean
You mean
the
if he
Giants
didn't
Why do you get benched?
until the Giants game. That's the
Why
only
did he get
game he
benched?
missed due to
Because he
injury.
quit.
All
Why-
other games he
Why did he
cleared.
get benched, Lethal?
He's a professional athlete that's been
He
playing this
was
game since at
young,
least
bro.
12 years old, and he quit.
Just like we talk about injuries being young. My nigga is still the youngest quarterback in the league right now at 22.
Angel Reese has never been like, "Hey y'all, I'm tired.
My
I gotta
nigga
go
is
sit down."
young. He was young, bro. I'm okay.
In the year two.
I'm okay with a
Hey,
young. I'm okay with a young kid making
to 2-5's point from earlier.
young
She's only
mistakes, bro.
three games into the new season, so you got to give her time before she decides if she wants to sit down.
And besides, bro, he going into his
Oh,
third
okay,
year
my
at
bad.
being 22. He's like I say, he's the youngest QB in the league right now, still. And we have new quarterbacks in the
All right.
league, bro. That are
So
older
when
than
y'all
him.
go,
Usually that
when
matters.
y'all
but
go,
what
when
you're
y'all go
saying,
0-3, when y'all go 0-3, and
Oh
Danny
my
Don
God,
takes over
bro.
as the starter, and
Y'all
start
are
winning
feeding
games,
too much into
and
that.
y'all start winning
no,
games,
but see,
I
no,
want
the
you
difference
to
between
come
Anthony
out.
Richardson is usually when we say, "Hey, this dude is young," they were usually a good quarterback before we said that. Anthony Richardson has never been a good quarterback,
Correct.
even if you go back to college.
But he hasn't had the time to actually grow into that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you take time, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes time for niggas to hit their stride and
Hey,
get
Lethal,
get the coaching and development to be
Lethal,
able to do
Bro,
do
that.
you
if he
also
didn't have a Colts jersey
so
on, you would be saying this nigga was
Duh,
ass.
No,
Lethal?
bro. I'm
Do
so
you also
serious, bro.
believe like girls that are like hoes? Do you be like she just a hoe because she hasn't been loved properly yet?
That's tough. That's tough. That's insane. That's
Because that's the same kind of
diabolical.
logic.
She's only a
That's
whore. She's only a whore because she's
I'm
filling in the
not
void.
Drake.
She's
Yeah,
Okay,
filling in
I'm
that
the
not trying to
father
void.
say
wasn't there.
I'm not Drake. Okay, I'm not a Drake. All right, we don't do that.
Daddy
You
wasn't
know what I'm saying?
there.
But what I
Tell me,
want y'all to
comb my
understand is
hair.
everybody be sitting here trying to shit on a guy is gonna take some that can develop, bro. The shit that y'all niggas be talking about, oh, he can't do this, he suck, bro. The nigga gonna be sweet, bro, this year. All right, he a franchise quarterback. He my quarterback. I go to bat for my quarterback. I'm tired of niggas disrespecting my goddamn quarterback.
That's my point because he's a Colt.
It's not
That's why
because
you're
he's a
so heavy
fucking
on him. But
colt,
if he
nigga.
was a
It's
Babe,
because
you're
we
fan,
laying on a
finally got
hoe.
a
But
nigga
when he gonna be
that
better than
finally can
Justin Fields,
replace
though?
what Andrew Luck left us at the doorstep with. That's what it's about.
stop saying Andrew Luck left you at the doorstep. Y'all left Andrew Luck to get hit
Yeah,
15
and
million times a game.
I blamed that regime. I
How
did.
long
I
ago was it
did.
that Andrew Luck
God bless the
retired?
dead.
I blamed that regime, and then I remember y'all. I was
Hey, 2-5.
even before
At this point, Eon.
even early podcast time, bro. When we first was doing this podcast, I used to say it all the time. Ballard is on my hit list, but now I
Pause.
had to change it. Remember, I had to start having to change the hardball shit. I started realizing, and now, hey, you finally got the bat off your fucking shoulder.
Now you blaming Jim
What's the
Irsay? You
name?
blaming
Old boy retired. Andrew Luck retired in what, 2017?
No, 2019.
Damn, it was
2019.
that
yo,
late?
Okay.
yo.
Yeah, bro.
Anthony Edwards has 19 shots for 16 points. It's not going well.
That's why Lethal being quiet, because when Anthony Edwards is quiet, he quiet.
And you know it.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie to you. The Timberwolves showed us last game that they weren't gonna win the series. Julius Randle is back to New York, Julius.
But that's why I was saying though,
What I
bro. I just want
was
niggas
bringing
to
up
understand,
earlier,
bro.
the
Stop
problem
shit.
with a dude like Julius Randle is that he backs up in the post, which we want to see more of. But against OKC, the blind side just gonna take the ball from you. Because that's what they were doing to Jokic the whole series.
True.
Gotta have that counter move.
Hey, so how do we feel about Shai Gilgeous Wade?
He got
Or Shai
he gotta
Gilgeous
win it all,
Harden?
bro. He gotta win it all.
I don't have a
Shai Gilgeous Wade, Shai Gilgeous
I don't
Harden.
have a problem with him.
Shai
I don't have a
Gilgeous,
problem with him winning MVP.
Hack-a-Shaq.
I wouldn't have gave it to him, but I don't have a problem with him winning MVP. But him and Jalen Brunson are very disgusting people. Like I'm not gonna
Why they
defend him
disgusting?
just because he went to Kentucky.
Oh, okay. Well, what about so after this collapse of the Timberwolves, does Anthony Edwards have to what does he have to do?
He just need another running mate.
Elevate
No,
his
he just
game?
need another running mate, bro. He need a
Oh,
second.
No, I
he
think
just
it's
need
I
a
think it's
second.
time for them to come off of Rudy.
That's what I'm saying. He need another running mate, bro. You know what I'm saying? He just need another him.
Rudy
He
Gobert.
need a Giannis, bro.
Why is
You
he
take
weak?
out, you
He
trade, you
don't
trade.
need a Giannis.
He need a Giannis, bro.
You probably the same dude that was shitting on KD and LeBron, talking about get my guy Giannis.
Nah, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hell no.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie though. Where does Giannis end up? Because we know he can't be a Milwaukee Buck forever.
He gonna go somewhere that can win, bro. So anywhere that a team that you know that is if he goes there, they'll win.
Like the thing is, if Giannis went to the Timberwolves, that would be a good
right because he'll win.
You know what I'm saying?
Either
Like,
Miami. I say either Miami or Brooklyn.
Question.
Brooklyn's not winning.
Is this the skinniest era of basketball since like the early 1990s?
Probably.
Yeah,
These are
probably.
skinny dudes,
niggas
bro.
don't want to be swollen anymore.
Well, see, Julius Randle tried to catch.
Julius Randle, the swollest nigga on the
I mean,
court.
what you watching Chet? You see how skinny Chet is. It just make you realize like where's the game?
No, Chet's skinny. McDaniel's skinny. Rudy's skinny.
SGA
skinny.
Caruso.
You would think Gobert. You would think Gobert would have 50-20 right now.
But see what I just told you though. They threw the entry pass. SGA was fronting Randall. They tried to throw it over him. Before he could even catch the ball, Dort was there to swipe it away.
Yeah.
That's why.
Hey, y'all ever watch that show Love Island?
No, but I've seen the previews, but I want.
Is it good?
Or actually no. Have y'all seen that new Fresh Prince?
Yes.
Nah.
Okay. Hey, why does Shea Gilgeous-Alexander look like Coco Jones?
Oh, dear.
I could see that.
I know who Coco Jones is.
I could see that.
If we get the Pacers and OKC in the finals, do y'all see the Pacers winning that in 6?
Fuck no.
The Pacers have a better chance of beating the Thunder than the Knicks would.
No, I agree with that, but no.
But you think it'll go to 7? You think it like? Do you think
OKC beats? I think OKC beats
okay.
anybody. I think OKC beats everybody.
I don't think they could compete with
OKC
that defense.
I think OKC and the Pacers would go 6. I think that OKC and the Knicks would probably go 5.
Yeah.
What's more entertaining from a matchup standpoint?
Like, as far as entertaining, I think it's
Like,
OKC Indiana.
OKC and Indiana.
But I think that fans would reject it and not watch it.
Would they reject Pacers and Wolves more than anything?
Oh yeah, that would be even worse.
Really?
And that's so in Indiana, dog.
That would be even worse.
How do KD and Westbrook feel if Shea brings the championship to OKC?
Durant gonna be answering questions on Twitter for at least 2 weeks.
I think at least Russ probably be more gratitude about it.
Yeah, I could see Russ making a post talking about how the fans of OKC deserved it.
Yeah, like rather than like I think KD would be like, "Fuck y'all niggas."
No, I think KD would call him and be like,
"Can I come back?
Y'all want to repeat?
Can I come back?
Y'all got a roster block."
Because Stephen A's been pushing that all year.
Do y'all see that? Do y'all see any of the old niggas going back to they starting teams? Like
Brown going back to Cleveland.
Like that. Like could you see like everybody just finishing out with while Steph is staying?
I could see Russ coming off the bench in OKC. I could.
Brown is going back to Cleveland. That is one that
Kevin
is
Durant.
written. Yeah.
Kevin Durant is just going to keep going on teams until he can't play no more.
Kyrie going back to Cleveland with LeBron.
Imagine if Hall of Famer Chauncey Billups would have went back to the team that he started out with when he got drafted. Who was that team, y'all?
Hey. That's my bitch. Hey.
So where do we rank? Where do we put Tyrese Halliburton? If he goes to the finals and win the finals, what would you put?
Greatest pick forever.
Hey, Lethal, what's up with your Indiana love?
It's Snaptown, bro. I don't know what y'all talking about, bro. You know what I'm saying? Snaptown over here.
Where do we rank Tyrese Halliburton? Nigga, we don't.
I mean, when we look at the matchup based of Tyrese, SGA, and I'm not gonna put Brown or Tatum in that, but just between those three right there, even Donovan Mitchell, you know, saying you can put Mitchell in there. Between those group, where would you sit there and be like, Halliburton is somebody that I actually would move above the charts now, as far as like.
Hey, look, I tell you what, he can go above Jason Tatum just for you.
I mean, that's a different position. They play different position though. That's why I ain't put him in that. That's why I ain't say that. I'm more thinking like SGA and Donovan Mitchell. You could probably put Bronson in there, but he a point guard. So
Is Donovan Mitchell? Are we gonna stop praising him? This nigga always falls short.
No, he's one of those players that it's hard because while what you just said is correct, he's also the only reason that his team gets to where they get.
It's true.
and he coming back from being injured the year prior to last year.
Yo, now that you say it, he does like Coco Jones.
I told you.
Because if Halliburton's already labeled as the greatest pacer
Money.
now in modern time over Paul George, where would you put him on the rank of?
No, he would be the greatest pacer ever.
Okay, if he wins the finals.
Yes,
Okay.
Wait, he'll be the greatest pacer
Yes.
ever? Like
Over Reggie Miller, yeah.
because he won
Yeah.
a chip?
That's the only reason. I'm not trying to be disrespectful because Reggie
Oh,
Miller's
okay.
my favorite player. You know, what
Oh,
I'm
Who's the
saying?
second greatest pacer ever?
but
Reggie Miller is your favorite player of all
Yeah,
time?
'cause, like I was always a little skinny dude, and I had to
I
come
got the
off them
jump shot.
girls to get the shot off and stuff sometimes.
got the jump shot.
So he was like the dude that I tried to emulate,
Oh.
you know, based on like being
feel that.
skinny and everything.
That was me with AI.
Why didn't you try to emulate his sister?
Cause she a girl.
She's
Nah, he
she's the
did.
best Miller
He
in the
did
family.
break down though with the way he said it though. He was like, "You don't know how I feel to live with the greatest woman to ever play basketball." I was just like, "Damn, bro, it hit you that
Nah,
much too?"
Like
Nah,
Reggie
Cheryl
was,
was a beast, dog.
no,
I mean,
she
I
was-
get
no,
it, but-
no, she might be the GOAT for real, but no, Reggie was he was the guy that I had to emulate because I was never tall and I was never, you know, husky or whatever. So like I had to find creative ways to get my shot off.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. That
and,
was me with AI.
and then I loved and then it was Isaiah Thomas. He was my second favorite player. And then it was Kobe.
I like that.
Oh
I
my
like
God.
that. I like that.
But no, so like the problem though, right? So Reggie got the Pacers, you know, to some Eastern Conference Finals and everything. But
And one
He would have to do. He would have to
that's
do
what I
it
was just
again.
about to say. But when they broke through and got to the finals, Jalen Rose was actually the best player on the team.
Yeah, Reggie might have been the third or fourth best player on the team.
Yeah.
On that team.
Yeah. So when he
Because
was
they
at
had Jermaine O'Neal.
so when he was at his peak, they didn't get there.
Would you view Halliburton like we view Giannis right now with the one chip? Like he did it, he got there, he got the
No.
joint.
No,
Okay.
No.
because Giannis only has his title because Kevin Durant wears the wrong size shoe.
Okay.
And because you got to remember, the Brooklyn was up 2-0 in that series before Kyrie got hurt. And then the game after Kyrie got hurt, Harden got hurt. And he hurt his hamstring and tried to do the Aaron Gordon thing.
Would it be a debate, or will we start looking at things different if they win a joint, come out next season, go win another one, and now the Jason Tatum, Halliburton discussion on?
There is no Jalen. There is no Jason.
What are you talking about?
The Jason
I can't even
Tatum.
say it. I can't even say it. There is no
talking about?
Jason Tatum Halliburton conversation.
The Jason Tatum and the
Tell
Halliburton
Lethal.
conversation
Lethal.
start talking.
Lethal. Hey, Lethal. Whatever it is that you're doing, dog, I don't know if you're drinking or if you're smoking or you got some other stuff going on, bro. But stop. Stop it, man. This is crazy talk.
Bro, I ain't been.
Tatum
I ain't been-
Halliburton conversation.
I,
Jason Tatum, Halliburton conversation that we keep revisiting
I ain't
over and
been
over and over
Oh,
again.
I
no,
ain't
we
been in
gotta
the
get
box.
no, we
I ain't
gotta
been
get
in the
Cups
box.
back to this. We gotta get Cups back to
Hey,
this.
I ain't
Cups.
been in the
Hey,
box.
Cups.
I ain't been in the box, bro. I gotta give y'all some clips.
Hey,
You know what I'm
Cups.
saying?
Please come back, Cups. Please have the Jason Tatum Halliburton conversations. That is crazy talk.
Hey,
Damn
so,
me.
so if the Knicks win the finals this year,
The Jalen Brunson, Jason Tatum debate
Jalen Brunson
begins.
gonna be the
no,
greatest
Jalen Brunson
Knickerbocker of
gonna
all
win the
time.
MVP next year, and that's going to trigger the Jalen Brunson Steph conversation.
That's what triggered the Jalen Steph conversation.
Hey, bro. Hey,
That's the
you know what's
one.
going to do. You know
Who's
it,
the
bro.
GOAT? Is it Jalen Brunson or is it Steph? He won an MVP that next year.
Look at the
That's
numbers, bro. Who is
crazy.
more clutch, bro?
That's crazy.
My bad, bro. Let's go. Y'all know what it is.
Hey y'all, we don't use that goddamn
Nah, I need Anthony Edwards to win. You know, what I'm
it's
saying
still
so.
light outside there?
At least win, like just win to prove a point.
Hey,
Win
don't worry about how Texas works.
a week.
Don't worry about
It
what
is
we do
still
with
You
light
mean
Texas.
like
We
you
outside?
just
mean
won
like
it.
win far is just
No,
like
it's not
to
light
get some
outside.
win,
It just got
get on the
dark. I'm at a
column of
gas
winning,
Oh,
station.
or
okay. I'm
No,
like,
I
that's
winning because
came.
you
So
actually
I
want to
came
see
because
them.
my homeboy landed and his car battery died while he was at school.
yeah.
So I came all the way to the airport just to hear a good Samaritan helped him out. So he was like, "My bad, bro." He said, "But just park somewhere. We can chop it up for a little bit since you drove all the
Nah,
way over here."
nah.
Hey,
I'm
so
cool.
if Jalen Brown gets Boston to 50 wins next year, is it time to have the Jalen Brown Scottie Pippen conversation?
Look, the only person who is not gonna acknowledge it is Cubs.
I mean, we
Yo,
don't know the time. We don't know the timeline. We don't know the timetable.
yo.
How long he going? How long the white the light skinned Mamba's gonna be out? You know what I'm
Yo,
saying? So
if the
You're
Knicks
not. Hey, hold up. What you're not gonna do is give him a nickname that's related to Kobe when he's a loser.
I mean, but that's him, bro. That's who he loved, bro. He loved Kobe. He's
no,
light
but y'all
skinned
need
I
to
Mamba,
don't
bro.
start
care who
this
he loves. He's
Julius
a
Randle
Boston
Charles
Celtic.
I
Barkley
fuck with
conversation.
Kobe. I love Kobe, bro. He the
He's
closest
a
thing we
Boston
got to
Celtic.
Kobe. He's the
if
closest
the Knicks
thing
win the
to
championship,
the imagery of Kobe. Just like Kobe
Hey,
is the closest thing
why are
that we
you
was
saying
gonna
these
get to
lies?
MJ.
Why are you saying these lies so
if
confidently?
Bro, for
if the
real,
Knicks
bro.
if the Knicks win
For
if the
real,
Knicks win
bro.
win the NBA Finals, is it time to strike up the Carl Anthony Towns Hakeem Olajuwon conversations?
I don't know. I mean, because if you really think about it, Carl Anthony Towns is easily more talented than Tim Duncan, right?
I mean, easily, right?
I mean, is he better than Charles Barkley?
He's
No.
better than Karl Malone. He's better than Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, Tim Duncan, David Robinson, all of them put together. Cat better than all of them. Since we just saying words.
I
We're
mean,
just saying
bro,
words, bro. We're just
I'm
saying
just being
words.
honest, bro. When I watch the game, bro, just
Since
like when I watch Ant
Jason
Man,
Tatum is
bro,
Kobe
he's the
Bryant's second
closest
coming.
thing to D Wade since we don't have D Wade. You know what I'm saying? So
Ooh.
it's just like that's how I view some of these players in the league, bro.
Well, there was a time when Marcus Smart was coming out of college. He was the one getting compared to D Wade.
He was. It's true.
I thought
It's true.
Deion Waiters was getting some more comparisons to D Wade.
Dion Waiters was hard
No,
I've
for a
never
while.
heard that.
they just both had the initials DW.
Only thing I know about Dion Waiters is he gave Kyrie a black eye.
Oh, did he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do y'all think
Why Kyrie
Monte?
could dribble
Do y'all
better?
think like people like Monte
No,
Ellis
because
and Baron
Kyrie,
Davis
I learned to shut up.
was before their time or ahead of the time when they came in the league?
Monte Ellis definitely was.
Ja Moran, I think, was after his time.
Yeah, nobody cares about that highlight flashy dunk shit no more. These niggas are soft. They don't want to see that.
Nah, Ja actually was right on time. He just was stupid. Ja should own the NBA right now.
He
Ja
really
should own the
should.
NBA. He should own the NBA.
Who would y'all rather give it to right
Imagine
now?
being that dumb.
SGA
Like
and
not once but twice. Like
Trey
Jesus.
Young, I think Trey Young was on time, but I think
Yeah.
the NBA has passed him.
Yeah.
Really?
So FGA doesn't have a personality, so he can't be the
He's from
guy.
Canada.
Yeah, plus he's Canadian.
Yeah, he can't be the guy. I told you it can't be a foreigner. I told y'all that. It's got to be an
supposed to be
American,
Anthony Edwards.
an American-born black man.
It has to be Anthony Edwards, but Anthony
It's-
Edwards
it's-
has to play.
It don't have to
He
be a
needs to
black
be more
man. It could be
consistent.
Cooper Flag.
It could be
Oh,
Cooper.
it might be Cooper. It might
A
be
white
Cooper.
man, a white man would never be the face of the league. Jerry West ended that.
He's still
It
the
might be Cooper
logo.
Flag.
He's still the logo, bro. I'll make Kobe the logo,
Cooper
but
Long as he's not in your-
niggas don't
long
want
as
to.
he's not
Niggas
in
don't want to.
Why y'all
Niggas don't
keep
want to
trying
sign that
change the
petition.
logo? Leave the logo alone.
The
Niggas
logo's
don't want
the
to sign
logo.
that petition. No, niggas don't want to sign that petition to have Kobe as the logo. But
No,
Because
I
there
would
ain't
never
no
sign
need
that.
for it.
I would
There's no
never
need
sign
what
that
you
for it.
mean?
petition.
No, nobody. Niggas act like Kobe just since he died, bro. Y'all act like Kobe just is a
No,
non-factor
we
in life.
don't act like
No,
that.
That's
I
not
think
true.
it's the
Exact
exact
opposite.
There's no,
as a
don't nobody,
It's
diehard,
the
don't
as a
opposite.
nobody,
diehard
don't
Kobe
nobody,
fan,
don't
as
nobody,
a diehard
nothing.
Kobe fan, I will say his legacy has been elevated since he died.
Thank you.
Not
Thank you.
So
no,
why
no.
not make
Cut
him
that
the
out.
logo
That's
of
not
the
the
league,
logic.
bro?
Because that's emotional damage. He
No,
only
it's
wants
not,
that
bro.
because we're sad. Michael Jordan should be the fucking logo.
He
If
was
anybody
the
should allow, if anybody
when
should
you
logo
when we
Michael
talk
Jordan,
about when
Michael
we
Jordan
talk
would never
about the
release
game of
his rights
basketball,
for
when we
that.
talk about the game of basketball, bro, when we talk about the game of
If anybody
basketball,
should be the logo, it should be Michael
There's
Jeffrey
nothing
when we
Jordan.
wrong.
talk about the game of basketball, bro,
Right.
and we talk about the from the fundamentals to the love and passion behind the game of basketball, with the whole point of why Kobe
No,
played.
no,
He is the
no.
definition
He's
of
not. He's not.
NBA basketball.
He's not. And nobody would have said that before he died. He's not.
There's no reason to change the NBA logo.
Yes, it is, bro.
You would just
If
be changing
anybody-
it just to change it.
If anybody should be the logo, it's Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan would never lease his image and likeness.
Or
to the
then
NBA
you gonna
again.
have the fucking Air Jordan jump, man. There's no nobody want that
But no,
shit.
he won't release it. He owns it. Why would you give something to somebody to an organization that's not your family that you own?
I would give it to Kobe.
Jerry West,
It's
Jerry
Kobe.
West, Jerry West. Just to the point that you just made. Think about this. Jerry West gave up the rights to his own image and likeness for the NBA to use for free.
Hey, Lethal. OKC up 19, bro.
Tough,
Get that
bro.
8? You bet it.
What's the shot?
No.
What's the field goal? What's the field goal percentage?
What's the field goal percentage? Well, Anthony Edwards is 8 of 19 to include 1 of 7 from 3.
So I'm gonna
1
repeat.
of 7 is diabolical.
I'm gonna
So you
repeat.
hitting your middies and you hitting your inside, but you just can't land a 3 to save your life.
Julius Randle is 2 of 11
From
And-
3?
No,
Jules is
in
bad.
general, and
Oh,
0 for 3 from 3.
Yeah,
I'm gonna ask
listen.
the question again. So Nasri can only shoot against the Lakers.
I guess so.
You said what?
I guess
Nasri can
so.
only shoot against the Lakers. Like if he's not playing the Lakers, he can't shoot.
No, okay, let's do this though, since Lethal brought it up though. Like, so outside of Michael Jordan, who could be the logo if they wanted to change it? Besides Kobe
Bron.
and Michael Jordan.
Bron.
Steph.
Magic?
I could go
Magic could.
Magic. I could
Could
go
you, have
Magic.
could you have like a logo
Magic.
with a, like, I guess it would be kind of hard to pull off, I guess, but with like a behind the back pass or something, like a
Larry
Don't
Bird.
shoot me. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot
Larry
me.
Bird could be the logo.
Larry
Don't shoot
Bird,
me.
yeah.
Don't shoot me. Vince Carter.
No,
Can we make
No.
a case for Vince?
no.
God no.
He would probably make a cool logo, but no.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Because like you got, but are we looking at? Are we debating off of what would look like a cool logo, or debating off of who
Well, I think that
deserves?
Jerry West, at the time that Jerry West became the logo, he was probably a top 3 player in the league. So you know what I mean. So it has to be somebody
Some-
that carries their name
deserving.
has to carry something.
Okay.
So it can't be like, even though I love him,
Tim
it can't
Duncan?
be like Jason Kidd.
Tim Duncan.
No,
No. It
Dirk.
can't be the cloth. No. Foreign born.
Dirk would have a cool looking logo if you did the thing, but no.
The step
Ray
back
Allen.
thing.
Yeah,
Ray Allen.
No.
KG.
No.
no.
Allen Iverson.
No.
They wouldn't allow that.
Shaq.
Maybe
Maybe Shaq.
you could have like the whole like.
It'd be like a Papa John's pizza
the
though.
shoe joint, the shoe joint.
Hey, Lethal OKC is up 24.
What quarter is this?
22.
Third? Just the
Yeah,
third
this is
quarter.
third quarter with 25 seconds left.
End of the third quarter. Oh, guys,
How about
I got
Tracy
I got my
McGrady?
tickets, guys. I got my tickets, guys.
To
December 14th,
49ers
Levi
and
Are you
Levi
going
Stadium.
to that Titans game? You going to that Titans
Levi
game?
Stadium. Yep, Cam Ward.
Shout out to the Niners, bro. Hope y'all win. I need y'all to
Yo,
put
me
that
too,
L on
man.
the
I'm
on
praying.
the column.
I'm praying, Doug. So the
It's gonna
last,
be a
y'all know
safe
the last.
travels.
So y'all know the last time I went to a Niners game. The last time I went to a Niners game in Levi Stadium, what happened, right?
Y'all took an L, didn't it?
No, we didn't. The
Oh,
Brock
okay.
Purdy era started.
Oh. So you thinking this a new era that's going to start down there?
No, I'm praying not. I'm praying that
why
like
does
it's
Cup-
week.
why
It'll be
does
week
his
what week?
bubble?
It's
Why's his
week. It'll be
bubble
what
moving?
week
My
16.
bad.
It'll be week 15. Hey, that's what week 15, week 16.
Is that you,
Well,
Cups?
Mm-hmm.
You back up?
Hey, Cups, are you ready to have this Tyrese Halliburton, Jason Tatum conversation?
No, not have it. Are you ready to
Oh my
continue it?
God.
Like keep it going because Lethal said it's already.
Hey, bro.
Yeah, he said if the Pacers win the title, we got to be ready to have this Halliburton Tatum conversation.
Because you know he gonna bring it up, bro. I'm just saying, bro. They
Ooh,
both gonna have
Cups?
one chip.
49ers and Titans are week 15.
Week 15, yeah. So hopefully by then, maybe that'll be our game to like lock up the division or something like that. That's what I'm praying.
How would you like to win? Would you like to see like a blowout type win, a game sealing interception win?
I like exciting games. So I'm gonna tell you the games I've been to in my life, right? So I was at the Brock Purdy game. I was at the 2012 NFC Championship in Atlanta. I was at that game with Colin Kaepernick. I was at that game.
That was a good game too.
That was an amazing game. I've never been so nervous in my life outside of like my wife giving birth.
Shout out
Like-
to Matty Ice.
Like I was at that game. Like I've been at some amazing games in my life, dude. Like that one. So I don't want that for myself. But if it be something like a celebration where like the people spill out into the streets and like celebrate throughout the night, like I plan for it because I'm gonna be there the whole week. So like last time I left right after the day after the game. So this time I'm staying because my birthday is not until that following Wednesday.
How many points do
So-
you want to see your defense? Well, how many points you hope your defense don't give up in your attendance or watching the game?
17.
17. I feel that.
Yeah, if we keep them under 17, we win.
Hey, I know we were just joking around, but for real though, when OKC finishes this job, how does the SGA Jason Tatum conversation go? Is Cups gonna ban me from the
Hey,
hot?
Cups. Hey, Cups,
He
how
might,
you feel
bro.
about that, man? Cups, how you feel about that? Cups, that's like
Bro.
his back.
If SGA,
Sorry.
no, I'm here. If SGA can finish the job, dog, I won't be mad. They had a good team. It is what it is, bro.
If SGA finished,
And he won the season, and he won a regular season MVP, dog. You know what I'm saying?
So if he wins, so if FGA finishes this season, finishes it off, right? He has the regular season MVP. He wins the Western Conference Finals MVP, and then he wins the Finals MVP with the championship. Will you be ready to admit that SGA is better than Jason Tatum?
That's a tough case. That's a tough case.
Oh, he's thinking
just
about
got
it
here.
too.
That's a tough
Yes
case.
or no? Yes or no?
He got traded to OKC.
I'll entertain it, but he just got here.
Tatum was a Celtics all his life so far.
Which other
He said-
which other league MVPs you think aren't better than Jason Tatum?
Who else been an MVP?
That aren't better than him.
That are
So
not
we got
better than
what?
Jason Tatum.
Joker, Embiid.
Tatum
mean-
is better than Embiid. Tatum's not better than Giannis. He's
Giannis.
not better than Joker.
But don't position start to play a factor in that a little
No.
bit? Okay, just asking.
Hey, but what if, you know what I'm saying, OKC wins, but Chet Holmgren wins Finals MVP.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yikes. Then that means Shea has to put together a Finals MVP.
What if Chet
Damn,
wins
we've
the
been in
East?
this
So,
joint
so,
for-
so the
Because that's like
comparison.
how we debate with the Jaylen Brown. Like Jaylen Brown won.
So no, what it would
You
have
know
to
what I'm
be
saying?
is
Both-
Chet would
So,
have to win the Western Conference Finals MVP and the Finals MVP.
but what if one wins? What if Shea wins the conference, but somebody else wins the finals?
I mean, that's happened before.
How unbearable would Cups be if Cat won Eastern Conference Finals MVP and Finals MVP?
Over Jalen Brunson? He
Yeah.
probably throw a party about that joint.
He'd be so excited. He'd be so happy.
He gonna throw a welcome party. Welcome to the Cat Show.
All right, hey Cups. Now that we've had some time, what team would you like to see Ice Trey on next year?
There you go, dog. And then we're gonna get out of here because I know you're trying to get rid of that stuff.
Put him on the Clippers, bro. Go
What?
play with Kawhi.
Why?
Go play with Kawhi. That way they can move. They can do something.
You hear
Oh,
this?
damn
Cups?
James Harden. Don't damn James Harden.
Move. They
Dog.
can get rid of Harden, bro.
Oh my god.
Harden don't need no more playoff Harden, bro. Playoff Harden is a no joke. You give Trey Young with Kawhi, bro. It might can do something, bro. All right, y'all
we
acting
don't
like
reach that
y'all try to
goddamn.
act like that's not a y'all try to act like that's not a good move, but
That's
all right.
not a
It's
good
not.
move.
It's not a
It
good
is, bro.
move. It's not, bro.
Cause y'all want
This
to
is
send
almost-
Trey, y'all
it's-
want to send Trey to Orlando and shit. Y'all want to send him to the small market teams and shit.
We want to send him to a team where he gonna fit.
I don't even care about market.
Cleveland.
I'm trying to think what
Cleveland.
team he would fit on. For who?
Cleveland.
You gonna trade him for Donovan Mitchell?
I'll trade him for Darius Garland.
So you want Donovan Mitchell and Trey Young in the same backcourt?
I mean, cause Trey Young's still a pass first nigga though.
We don't
And
reach
he
that
can
goddamn.
still, and he can that will free up from Donovan Mitchell having to have the ball.
Hey, Cuff, I'm trying to
Be
give you
ball
the
dominant.
alley-oop, bro.
Where he could be a little more free with the shooting, bro. Because you gotta think about with Mitchell, bro, he takes so many shots, bro, because he's so ball dominant. If you free that up a little bit, he might not have the lesser shots he do have to take, he probably make more.
So you think he's ball dominant because he just like nobody's like
Because that's their main, other than Mosley, who don't get the ball. That's their main
but you
scorer.
think he's ball dominant because he just don't got nobody else to want to shoot?
I think he's ball dominant because he has no relief pitcher to play with.
I think he just don't trust his teammates, and he's a fucking ball hog.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
definitely think that she just hasn't been loved properly. You absolutely think that. That is your bag. I hear it now. I get it.
I'm just saying, bro. You put Trey Young on Cleveland right now, bro. For Darius Garland, bro, it might be a different situation, bro.
Dog,
That's all I'm saying.
five straight 30-point games, 30+ games for SGA, bro. 5 straight.
Can he keep doing it though?
Dude took 15 shots, got 30 points.
Yes, he can.
How many free throws? How many
See.
times was he on the line today?
Let's see. He's been on the line. He
I haven't seen him shoot a
is.
free throw.
He's 9 for 9 from the free throw line.
God damn, the merchant is real.
That's not a lot of free throws.
Bro, he's almost at double digits, bro. What are we talking
That's
about?
not a lot of free
Bro,
throws.
the way
Nine?
we saw D Wade take 25 in a game. In a
9 free
finals
throws.
game.
This is just
9
the
free throws
start.
is not a lot. 9 free throws is not a lot of free throws.
So y'all feel like 15 is the start to say it's a lot of free throws?
I want to say Bron probably shoots between 10 and 12 free throws a game, right?
Maybe. Let's see.
What's that?
Yeah.
What's the average? What's the average of free throws you would want your players to take in a
As
game?
many as they can get. I don't care.
But yeah, but on an
Are we
average,
winning?
though, if you was averaging it out,
If we can get 50 free throws, then I'm taking 50 free throws. Why can't Nas Reed shoot against somebody other than the Lakers?
All right, let's see. So Giannis attempted the most free throws this year. So if you go by free throws per game, SGA was number 2, but he was only at 8.8.
8.8.
Now, but before you look at that number, Lethal, listen to this real quick. So these are the people that are just under SGA or like following SGA. Trae Young at 7.4, James Harden at 7.3, Jalen Brunson at 6.9, Dame Lillard at 6.4, Joker at
All right.
6.4, and Devin Booker at 6.4, Anthony Edwards at 6.3.
And out of those names that you listed off, how many of those do you feel like are the baiter ones, like we call SGA with the free throw merchant, or in the ones that get good?
Trae, Harden, Brunson, and that's probably it. Just those 3.
And then everybody else is free throws the hard way, in a sense.
Yeah, because
like,
I'm surprised that Dame shoots that many. I would have never guessed that he would have been top 5 or top 6 in free throw attempts per game. Joker makes sense because he's so frustrating to defend and does so many things. Devin Booker shoots a lot, so I could at least see it. Anthony Edwards has the athleticism and whatnot. Jason Tatum.
That's what he needs to be doing, is being at the free throw line. That's what I'd be hating about the shooting slumps. It'd be like, all right, if you realize you in a slump going 1 for 7 from the 3-point line, if you just get to the basket, get you a foul call, shoot you some free throws, you can easily get y'all niggas back in the game with just free throws alone.
And real quick, before we get out of here, just to give y'all an update real quick, Angel Reese did finish with 2 points. She went 0 of 8 from the floor.
See?
And she went 2 of 6 from the free throw line.
I can't give you credit when you don't have credit to give.
It's gonna be crazy tomorrow, though.
Right, bro. You know what I'm saying? And the media, they know that. They feeding off her bad performance, and they boosting that shit up. Like, she just need to get in the lab, bro. I ain't got no hate to her. I want her to succeed. She just need to start performing, bro.
I agree. All right, y'all. We don't reach that goddamn
we reached that
15
3 hour,
3 hours,
15-minute mark.
15-minute mark, man. We gotta, y'all know when we get to that mark, I mean, that's really the cutoff point, when you're thinking about
saying, we gotta roll the windows down. The smoke is done.
This has been the Thursday Smoke Fest, y'all.
You know what I'm saying?
We got no flopper 225 in the building.
Bad women are insecure. The bad women are insecure. The dumb women want you to teach them things. Get yourself a Tylenol. You're gonna need it. Life is about moments and moments pass.
For Styrofoam Ralph, we got our guy.
Our man
El Residente San Jose in the building. You know what I'm saying? He used to give us the fireworks and everything, but we don't get the fireworks no more.
Oh man, it's not working. It's not working.
It's not working. And then of course we got Bleed Blue for the shoe. Nap Nation is in the building. Grandeurs of Delusion, but we love them anyway.
RP to the Whiskey Jim.
And give my man the credit, because he is the first person that brought the Tyrese Halliburton, Jason Tatum conversation to our sphere.
He brought it. He made it. He made that happen.
Baby, Naptown, we back. You heard?
And then, of course, one half of Sports Reports as ordered. He goes by the name of 2-5. He goes left so much that you thought he was southpaw. And then we got Cups coming in from the Don King nap.
I've been broke, but never petty.
Hot box.
Yeah, I heard.
Smoke with us. Let the windows down. We will be back tomorrow.
I've been broke, but never been
Hopefully
petty.
for a lunchbox tomorrow.
Hopefully for the lunchbox. You heard?
Lunchbox tomorrow?
O'clock special.
Absolutely, we'll be here for a Friday lunchbox.
You know what I'm saying? We love y'all so.
Nothing.
You gonna stay on the camera time, or you gonna
smoke with us?
Nothing more. Before we get up out of here,
duck off.
It's always
and above all else,
fuck
Aaron Rodgers.
Always.
Fuck Kevin Durant.
Rudy Gobert.
And fuck Rudy Gobert.
Gobert.
And
there you go.
And
there you go.
And while we at it, tonight's recommendation is fuck Ben Roethlisberger.
Ooh.
Fuck Big Ben.
Whoa,
Come
whoa,
on,
Tough.
dog.
That's
whoa,
tough.
sir.
You know what I'm saying?
We gonna have to
Y'all-
save that for the
y'all-
lunchbox
see
tomorrow. We're
fuck
gonna have to
Ben
save
Ben
that for the
All-
lunchbox.
You gotta show love to
Hey.
field, bro.
You know, they should have changed. They should have changed his jersey to Ben Believe Women. Or my personal favorite,
I like that one.
Rape the
See what you
Burger.
gave. See what you give the
Rape-
culture.
Yeah, I like
Rape
Rape
the
the
Burger?
Burger.
Rate the
Yeah.
burger.
Okay.
Rapeless burger.
All right, on that. That's a weird
That was
way
a
to
good
end
one.
the podcast.
But no, fuck Big Ben though. Fuck Big Ben for sure.
Yeah, the worst. Yeah, worst Benjamin in history.
He
you know what
he
I'm
did
saying?
something new.
Damn. You got
No.
Benjamin Watson over Big Ben.
Yeah, man.
All right.
I got
Yeah,
Big
Uncle
Ben,
Ben?
the clock over Big Ben.
Hell yeah.
You got Uncle Ben over Big Ben.
Uncle Ben, man. Uncle Ben
Uncle
is a
Ben.
classic.
Hey, gotta have that rice, bro.
Yeah, Uncle Ben saved me many nights throughout my childhood.
Uncle
got Ben
Ben,
10
Aunt
over
Jemima. You
Ben
can't
10?
you can't miss it.
And Uncle Ben's rice. I got that over Spider-Man's Uncle Ben.
Ooh, that's I like that.
Damn.
I like that. I like that.
Yo,
Just
Rudy
saying,
Gobert
man.
is phenomenal.
Just saying.
So yeah, fellas.
Smoke with us.
Smoke with us
with
next
us.
time, y'all.
Smoke with us
Look, man,
tomorrow,
next
man. Catch us for the Friday lunchbox. Love y'all so much, man. Smoke with us next time.
Clearly Canadian.
Peace.